house. This is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that. Hello. Happy 4th of July Eve, everybody. Wait, no, that's not even true. Because tomorrow's the 3rd of July, and then 4th of July is Saturday. Yeah. Anyway, welcome into the show today. We've got a lot to get to. Should be fun. Tigers, a sweep the Yankees. 3-game sweep. First time they've swept the Yankees on the road since 2008. Yeah, wow. Is right. We'll get to the Tigers in the 10 o'clock hour. Let's start here, though. With the trade that happened yesterday in the NBA, man, this league knows how to keep you on your toes, doesn't it, Kyle? Jaylen Brown ends up going to the Philadelphia 76ers. This would essentially be like if the Lions traded Sam Laporta or Jahmyr Gibbs or J-Mo to the Packers. This is their arch rival in not just the division, but the conference. This is a team that they lost to the Celtics in the first round of the playoffs last year, and they said, you know what, let's send last year our best player over to that team. So it's Jaylen Brown going to the 76ers. The 76ers are sending Paul George back, attaching a first-round pick in order to get off the contract, plus one more additional first-round pick for Jaylen Brown. What do they got? They got 70 cents on the dollar for Jaylen Brown? The guy who's one of the best 5, 6, 7, 8 players in the NBA last season. I don't think he's truly one of the 5, 6, 7 best players in the NBA, but last year he certainly was. They have mishandled this situation so poorly to where Walker Kessler ends up going for more than Jaylen Brown. Look, we can take this from a Celtics route. We can take this from a Sixers route. I think the proper way to do this on this show is taking it through a Pistons route and Pistons lens. I look around the Eastern Conference right now, Kyle. There's the Detroit Pistons, who obviously finished as the 2 seed last year and were eliminated in the second round by the Cleveland Cavaliers. I do think the Pistons have made marginal upgrades this offseason, to be very clear. But teams that are as good or better than the Detroit Pistons. Orlando. Don't forget about them. They had you on the ropes down 3-1 before their first or second best player got hurt, depending on the way that you look at it.
That's the first team, you say? Oh, God, this is about to get bad.
I kind of, yesterday as I'm going through it, I never really thought Orlando. You kind of have to have them on the list, right? With them being up 3-1, and they would have won that series.
The first team, you say, is Orlando?
Just as a quick reminder.
Let's get the non-debatables out of the way before we jump to Orlando.
Okay. Orlando, New York, defending champs. Boston, I still have on here. We'll talk about Boston in a second because I know I'm probably in the minority on how I'm viewing Boston right now. Indiana has to be on this list if we're doing as good or better than the Pistons. It's a team that went to the finals 2 years ago and then their best player got hurt. Philadelphia for sure is past the Pistons. Toronto, maybe in that same group with the Pistons. The Cavaliers, who we lost to in a playoff series last year, have to be ahead. And then Miami, who adds Giannis and who knows could add LeBron James as well. And then there's the LeBron factor of potentially going to Miami or Cleveland, which would 100% pass both of those teams above the Detroit Pistons. So there's Detroit, Orlando, New York, Boston, Indiana, Philly, Miami, Toronto, Cleveland. That's 9 teams, Kyle, all of which, as of right now, probably view themselves as a team that can come out of the Eastern Conference. Every one of those teams I named, other than New York, in Orlando, and Boston, we'll see, definitely got better over the course of the offseason. Even in a situation like Indiana, they get Tyrese Halliburton back. They got better. Philly adds Jaylen Brown. They got better. Miami adds Giannis. They got better. Toronto, they add Kawhi Leonard. They got better. The Cavs, they were already better than the Pistons since they beat them in a playoff series. Orlando, same tier. New York, the defending champions. Boston, look, in my mind, they swapped Jaylen Brown 1-for-1 with Jason Tatum as the team they were last year in the regular season. I think Tatum's a better player than Brown. Plus, they add Paul George to do it. Now they've got a couple extra firsts to add something to it as well. I'm worried that everybody else is leaving the Pistons behind, and suddenly you're looking at an Eastern Conference that is as deep and as loaded and as open for all the right reasons, not just because the conference is bad, but open for all the right reasons for the first time in quite some time. This conference feels loaded right now, and the Pistons are one of the teams that, like I said, marginal upgrades, but I certainly don't view them as a top 4 team in the Eastern Conference right now, when I did every step of the way last year.
It's a fair approach to take because when you just look at like those other teams, what they have done this offseason, sure, they have made the huge moves. And not to say that this is a like, why didn't the Pistons make the huge moves? You know, I don't think anybody who's tapped into the NBA circle and rumors and all that stuff saw Jaylen Brown getting traded to the Philadelphia 76ers yesterday.
Especially for that price.
For that price, too. And that team. I mean, you mentioned it. I think it's even worse. I think it'd be this, like if the Lions traded Aiden Hutchinson to the Bears for Grady Jarrett in a first-round pick. Because we got to remember Paul George, what he is. Like, he was the most unmovable contract in the league. And all of a sudden, he played 20 good games coming off of being banned from taking perks, and now he's fine. Now he's good again? No, he's not. He's washed up. He's old. He's on a terrible contract. So, yeah, that in itself is crazy. But I would still rather be in the East, right? I would still rather be where the Pistons are than the West because, yes, the East is deep. All of those teams, I don't disagree. There's a couple that I think we're just kind of stretching this a little bit for the sake of the exercise. I still think the Pistons are better than a few of those teams. But, yes, it is very deep. And there are a lot of different teams that feel that they could be the best. But there isn't one team that is, like, for sure the best one. There isn't a team that is ahead of everyone else. You could make the argument for the New York Knicks.
Until LeBron goes to one of them.
Well, that's a good point. You could make the argument for the New York Knicks that it is, hey, they're the reigning champs. They haven't lost anybody of substance. I guess Mitchell Robinson they did lose, but they should be viewed as a top team. Sure, I could give them that. I also just don't think that there's some juggernaut team, though. And I don't think really anybody feels that way. And even Giannis Antetokounmpo getting added to the Heat, Kawhi Leonard getting added to the Toronto Raptors, it's major star power. It's new best player on that team being added, so you would think that they should be the favorites. But I'm not going to trust either of those guys because of their injury history. So I get what you're saying about these other teams being deeper, and I don't know if I can confidently say the Pistons are a top 4 team in the East either. But I also don't think I could say any of those teams are for sure the best team in the East. Like in the West, I could say, well, it's still just San Antonio and OKC.
Correct.
Like maybe the West has gotten worse in the last couple weeks. It's still just San Antonio and OKC, though. No matter how much we want to say, oh, Minnesota, yeah, they got LaMelo Ball, blah, 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 this and that.
Until they get LeBron.
That's the thing. So every team's getting LeBron.
Any team that LeBron goes to, it feels like it kind of puts them in the title contending zone of the teams that we realistically think he can go to outside of Golden State. Because there seems to be a handful of teams. Like, if LeBron goes to Miami, yeah, they're the favorites to win the East. If LeBron goes to Cleveland, yeah, they're probably the favorites to win the Eastern Conference.
What if he goes to Philly, which has already been rumored since Jaylen Brown got traded there?
Probably the favorites to win the Eastern Conference.
Probably.
Philly for sure passed the Pistons yesterday. Because they were already this team that was incredibly fun, electric backcourt, Tyrese Maxey.
But they're like pretty mid. Like I didn't think
ultimately
they didn't really have any other options to do anything. That's why I didn't have any threat of Philadelphia. So the fact that they have now been now that they've been added into the group out of nowhere when they didn't feel like a threat to the East at all, yeah, that's concerning.
Miami added to the group out of nowhere. Teams that could, like
Toronto as well. I mean, like they were fine. They were like a fun team last year, but now they are a legit threat.
And now Indiana's back in the mix too. Like of all those teams I just mentioned, Detroit, Orlando, New York, Boston, Indiana, Philly, Miami, Toronto, Cleveland. 9 teams. How many of those would just like totally shock you if they won the conference? You probably have Orlando in that group. But other than that, if feels like any single one of those teams would be not all that shocking.
If they went to the finals, yes, Orlando, I'd be very shocked.
That still leaves you with 8 teams.
Boston, I'd be shocked. I think what Boston has done in this offseason has been like one of the more abysmal things. Like we want to make fun of the LA Lakers for the way they've handled everything. We got to treat the Boston Celtics the same way. How do you go to the NBA Finals after doing what they just did? You know,
it's fair.
So I would be shocked if they did.
I just don't think they're going to be all that much worse.
They have a really
than
good player, so that helps their case. They have a better player than Orlando does.
I think in a vacuum, you swap out Jaylen Brown for Jason Tatum and add Paul George. I don't know if they're actually going to be a worse team than they were last year. Are they title contenders? Like, are they as good as they were 2 years ago? Absolutely not. I don't really know if they're all much worse than they were last year. And maybe the 2 seed was a little bit, ahead of where they actually were in terms of the NBA rankings, and the playoffs obviously let us know that. But I still think they're one of the 5 best teams in the East. I don't think they're all of a sudden bad. I guess that's where I am.
They're not going to the finals. Sure, they're still going to be fine. They're still going to be like a 45 plus 50 plus win team, no doubt about it. But
ultimately, still have the second or third best player in the East.
Yeah, I agree. Like I'm with you there. I just think that they got utterly exposed by a pretty average Philadelphia team in the playoffs last year, and then they decided, okay, we should actually trade our best player from last year to that same team that beat us in the playoffs.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? This is just an unbelievable. I can't believe that happened yesterday.
I can't believe that it happened either. I can't believe how little they got for Jaylen Brown, who was an all-NBA guy.
You can feel however you feel about him. There's been this whole debate over the last couple weeks about analytically Jaylen Brown actually isn't very good. His on-off numbers are bad, this and that. He's just way better than Paul George. And it was
better.
A 1-for-1 swap.
They got you got to view it as they got 1 pick for him, because you have to attach a Paul George. You have to attach a pick to Paul George to move him because his contract's so bad. And then you got 1 pick for Jaylen Brown. Walker Kessler went for how many first-round picks yesterday?
2 firsts and 2 swaps.
So they got more for Walker Kessler than they did for Jaylen Brown, who was one of the 6 or 8 best players in the NBA last season.
And the big part about this is that Jaylen Brown, the number, you can say all the analytic stuff, whatever. Jaylen Brown plays. Jaylen Brown plays every game, and he plays hard, and he did the whole anti-flop thing. He is a big guy on the movement of that.
Ethical hoops.
And then you look at Paul George. You look at Paul George's game log. He spent 2 years in Philadelphia. You know how many games he played in Philadelphia in 2 years?
I'm going to say, he missed 25 games because he was popping perks. I'm going to say less than 100.
78 games, less than a full season in 2 years. Played 78 games in 2 seasons. Year before that in LA, he played 75. But then it was 56, 31, 54, 48.
And Paul George is, 35 at this point?
Yeah, Paul George, I have it pulled up. He is 36 years old.
Yeah.
Since 2019, that is 7 years ago.
And to think that
he's played over 56 games 1 time.
And to think that Boston was on the verge of getting Giannis, and they didn't want to include Hugo Gonzalez into a trade to get Giannis, and now the alternative. And then, okay, you don't get Giannis. And this is what I've been saying. What's our pivot? How about you just run it back with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and you go into the league, go into the new year as either the first or second best team in the Eastern Conference. You have the best duo in the East. But instead, you're forced to trade Jaylen Brown because you let it get out, because you really only half went in to go get Giannis. You put him in a trade package that wasn't good enough.
And it still came out, so it's then you kind of screwed yourself anyways, yeah.
And then they traded Jaylen Brown for 80 cents on the dollar.
That's what comes out most about this trade is clearly there wasn't an option of, we'll fix this with Jaylen Brown and keep him around. No, because this is dumping him, which just feels insane.
Wrong. Yeah.
It feels they were talking about, I guess, who does come out kind of a winner of this? The Pistons. Because the whole
I don't think so.
Well, Jalen Duren sign and trade to Boston was something that he wanted. I want to go to Boston. It takes that team out of consideration. I don't think the Pistons
can be considered winners in this because Philly for sure passes them, and I still think Boston is
still
good.
They're still good. Yes, they're still going to be good. I don't think that they are true contenders, but I also don't know if the Pistons are true contenders right now either. So
how do the Pistons become true contenders, though? That is what I want to tackle when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt, because it's not too late. I say, all these teams have caught up to the Pistons. The East has gotten substantially better with, Paul George and Jaylen Brown swapping teams, with Kawhi Leonard coming to the East, LeBron potentially coming back East, Giannis joining a team that actually, presents him as a team that could win the Eastern Conference. The East has gotten a lot better. How do the Pistons jump into that next group? I'll tell you when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitt. Show, as always, is brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Protect your home with Bresky Siding and Building Repair. The experts who do the job right the first time, whether you have a leaky roof, storm damage, siding looking tired, Bresky has you covered. Locally owned, trusted, and dedicated to keeping Midland area homes safe and looking sharp. Quality materials, skilled craftsmanship, and service that puts your family first. Don't wait for the next storm. Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair today. Keep your home strong for years to come. 9 o'clock hour is brought to you by Iron Stack Technology. You know, we talk about the game plan all the time on the show, the execution of it. That is how Iron Stack approaches IT. They help businesses stay secure, efficient, and ready for what's next, so you can focus on your mission instead of your technology. That's Iron Stack Technology, solution-driven, mission-focused. Check them out online at ironstacktechnology.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, welcome back in. Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mid. So all these teams have gotten significantly better in the Eastern Conference. Indiana gets their superstar back in Tyrese Halliburton. That's kind of the sneaky one that everyone's forgotten about, because after the Jaylen Brown trade, obviously my initial reaction to that is Pistons lens. Oh, look at that. I think Philly just passed the Pistons. You know, we've thought that with Kawhi Leonard and the Raptors, him going back there. Maybe they've passed the Pistons. Miami potentially passed the Pistons. The one that I keep forgetting about is Indiana, who's just, like, the last time they were fully healthy went to the finals. That one's kind of scary, too.
It is. And, like, I mean, their team is not much different in the fact that they basically replaced Miles Turner from 2 years ago now with Ivica Zubac, who is a different big player, but probably better. So, yeah, they absolutely will be back as well. They should be like a really good team again next year.
So you've got them. You've got Toronto, the looming LeBron factor. If you're going to go to Miami or Cleveland, you can't sit here with confidence and say that the Pistons are all that much better than a team like Orlando, since they had them on the ropes last year. I think Orlando's the worst team.
But have the Pistons gotten better this offseason? Just take every other team out of it. Just the Pistons.
I think they have.
The issue is every other team has gotten, like, they've added their new best player.
Yeah, substantially
Three
better.
different teams have added their new best player, and Indiana basically has by adding their best player that was injured last year.
Yeah, so 4 teams have added a new best guy.
And it's impossible for the Pistons to do that, you know, so it's not like we're asking them to do that, but they haven't added their new second best guy.
And
right?
I think the way that they get themselves into that, like, I just listed those. It's not 8 or 9 teams, depending on how you think of Orlando. I just include Orlando simply because.
What about the Bulls?
No, not.
You don't think the Bulls have a chance?
I don't think the Bulls are in there.
You don't think Trae Young, AD, and DeBonta,
I was just about to say the
trio could make some noise?
The only team I've left out that actually could make some noise is probably the Wizards team, but I don't really think they're going to be able to stay healthy.
I think they'll be fine. Yeah, they probably won't stay healthy. Yeah.
Regardless, how do the Pistons get to the top of that list where it's like, hey, yeah, the 3 best teams are still New York. That's the thing. It's so hard to even say who the second best team in the East is, or even the first best team. But how do the Pistons make sure they're still like a top 3 seed? It's the same answer that we've been saying for ever since the playoffs ended. You got to go get Trey Murphy. Like, this is all the more reason to be all in with the picks that you have not used to go get a guy like Trey Murphy. You've signed John Collins, you've traded for Isaiah Joe for a couple second-round picks. You've gotten a couple second-round picks back for Isaiah Stewart for a salary dump. You drafted Ibuka Okori. You're better offensively. You still have not used a first-round pick to do anything. I'm down to do the 3 first-round picks for Trey Murphy. And all the reports have been multiple teams have offered the Pelicans 2 first-round picks for him, but they want, some sort of young asset back because they don't want to be the worst team in the league, because the worst team in the league doesn't have as favorable of lottery odds anymore because of the shift in that. Maybe you have to include Ron Holland and Karis LeVert. It's a big deal. I'd throw in a third. I would essentially overpay 120 cents on the dollar right now without blinking an eye for a guy like Trey Murphy. I already would have done that, but now there's even more reason to do that because of how good the Eastern Conference has gotten over the last week.
Yeah, and with especially how we just saw the Jaylen Brown trade go down, the value for a guy like Jaylen Brown. Once again, I think Trey Murphy is a better fit for the Pistons than Jaylen Brown. I wouldn't go out here and say that Trey Murphy has more trade value than Jaylen Brown, though.
Well,
right?
Well,
Jaylen Brown just went for 1 first-round pick, basically. Legit. Like an unbelievably...
Trey Murphy's also making 1/4, between 1/3 and 1/4 of the price.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
You're right, 100%. Like, I'm not... and once again, I think Murphy's just a way better fit than Jaylen Brown, but, the fact that it only took basically 1 first to trade for Jaylen Brown just because they had the contract to match it with the Paul George deal, if I'm the Pelicans, maybe I need to lower my asking price a little bit, or I just don't need to trade him. But so that should make the Pistons even get more aggressive. Like, okay, we just saw what Jaylen Brown went for. Let's really knock this thing out with Trey Murphy. Because Chris in our YouTube chat does make a good point. He says the Pistons are not better, in my opinion, because who were their top 3 players last year? Cade, Duren, Asar. Who are their top 3 players this year? Cade, Duren, Asar.
That can be true, but the role players are important in 2026. This isn't the era of the big 3 where you can put together 3 guys and nobody else matters.
That is what's most important still at the end of the day. Like your 3 best guys on your team are still is what's most important. Whereas you look at all those teams you just listed outside of Orlando, their top 3 has changed. for the better.
But I still think the Pistons have gotten better because they've added the pieces around them, and because I still why would I not think Asar Thompson and Jaylen Duren can continue to take steps forward? Again, that texter's right. The YouTube comment's right in the fact that they still have their same core. Everyone else looks a little bit different. But I'm not going to go into this season thinking that Asar can't be 5 to 10% better.
Sure.
Jaylen Duren should be 10, 15% better. Cade Cunningham should even take, we're not at prime Cade Cunningham yet. We saw some flashes of it. Those guys should naturally get a little bit better. But everyone else has taken a leap without a doubt to get better. That's why I think they need to go get a guy like Trey Murphy.
And the point that I think you make the best there is that the Pistons have not used any of their assets.
No, they still have every pick.
And they haven't even used their cap space. This John Collins thing is just for sure a sign and trade. It just hasn't really been finalized yet. It sounds like this is going to be a massive sign and trade with the Isaiah Joe and Isaiah Stewart all getting thrown in with this John Collins thing. So they haven't even technically used their cap yet. They still have the flexibility to do a lot. That's why I don't want to be the guy that's I've had the scary thoughts of, man, are they just going to add another solid wing guy in free agency and that be the end of free agency? I'm going to try to not think that way because they haven't used any assets yet. And for them to just sit on them really does not make any sense.
Especially when there is a player like Trey Murphy and a player like Michael Porter Jr., both of which make 10 out of 10 perfect sense to add to your
and
team.
Should be available. I know we haven't gotten a ton of buzz about Michael Porter Jr., and even the Trey Murphy stuff has been kind of slow.
Make them say no.
Yeah.
Up the price to where they cannot say no. Make it impossible for them to say no. Otherwise, the rest of the conference has passed you, and they're not waiting for you to catch up. Now is, if you're Trajan Langdon, we've talked about all these singles that he's hit. Now is time to take the home run swing. And to me, that's Trey Murphy. I know it's not a home run type of name. It's not a household.
It's a huge trade for a city that has been starving for one for years.
Correct. That is a massive trade. To land a guy like that, 6 different 40-point games, lights out 3-point shooter, can attack the rim. He does everything. He's OG Anunoby, but a little young. I guess he is 20. He's 28. He's a little older than.
Not quite the size of an OG.
Correct. Not quite the defender, but in essence of this guy's just a winning basketball player. He would be the Pistons'
second best guy. He just would. We can sit here and talk about Duren, all NBA, this and that. Murphy would be their second best guy.
I agree. He's exactly what they need. And based on everything the rest of the Eastern Conference has done, this is all the more reason to go get ultra aggressive, do the 3 firsts, do Ron Holland as well. Trajan Langdon's thread the needle perfectly with the Jaylen Duren situation and has fought tooth and nail, played hardball, and it's worked out for the Pistons for the most part. This is not something I'd play hardball with. Go overpay for Trey Murphy. Plain and simple. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live on the Mitt. I got to tell you, Scott Family Dental, they've got a friendly staff, and when you go there, they're more than just an appointment on your schedule. You are treated like family from the moment you walk in. Dr. Brandon Scott and his team create an experience that's welcoming, relaxed, and actually kind of enjoyable, making every visit feel like less of a dentist appointment and a little bit more like catching up with friends. That is Scott Family Dental. This is the Ben Bosscher Show.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building. by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
I still have to get to the Tigers, whose rotation is just looking next level right now. Let's have Kyle hit the news in the meantime.
The Mitts Morning Catch.
Oh, it's time for the news. Let's get into it. We're going to talk about soccer next, so we'll save the U.S. men's soccer talk for the next segment because boy, oh boy, do we got a lot to talk about. All I'm going to say to hint for the people is Ben watched soccer,
I had fun.
and I think he had fun. I think he enjoyed it.
I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed my experience watching soccer.
So we'll talk about that next, and we'll do a full World Cup update as far as what matches are happening in the later segment of the news. First off, let's look at the Covenant Healthcare Orthopedics and Sports Medicine injury report. Tigers were in action yesterday, but before the game, they announced that Will Vest has been added to the 15-day injured list with right elbow inflammation. Bo Brisky has been recalled from AAA Toledo. Bo Brisky's been really bad when he's been with the Tigers this season. But yeah, Will Vest added to the injured list.
I honestly think we needed a break from Will Vest. And I know Bo Brisky's been terrible, but I feel like we needed a... It's like when like you're on a break with a significant other or something. Like you just we needed some space from Will Vest for a while. There was a really sour taste in our mouth with Will Vest based on how the last couple outings had gone.
Right, yeah.
I'll be happy to have him back in a couple weeks.
Yeah, they could have used him last night because boy, oh boy, the back end of that game was a little bit sketchy. We'll talk about that in 10 o'clock hour. Okay, other news going on. This is the biggest news. I'm surprised we didn't lead with this, to be honest. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, they're getting married at Madison Square Garden tomorrow.
This is ridiculous, man.
1 out of 10. How excited are you?
0? I don't...
Okay, wait, what's the bigger event? The NBA Finals at MSG this year or this?
NBA Finals at MSG. I read this and I was like, this is the most celebrity nonsense ever. Why are you getting married at MSG? Like, that doesn't sound like a fun place to get married. Not that I have any experience.
There's no windows. What are you talking about? You're getting married in the middle of the summer in a place that doesn't have any natural sunlight?
That's what I'm talking about. Like, why?
Yeah.
Other than to just say that you did it. When you can afford to go anywhere. You're Taylor Swift. You could go to a Caribbean island. You could go to
block
anywhere.
out Central Park. Like, do it in the middle of New York outside.
Right. You could go do it in Turks and Caicos. But no, you want to do it in MSG? Why? That doesn't sound like a good wedding venue. You're doing this simply to be extravagant. Oops, sorry.
Just to flex to say that you could do it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I do, like, they'll probably make it look amazing. I don't doubt that. It'll probably look awesome in there, but the sun part to me is the crazy. Like, it's a wedding in the middle of the summer, and there's going to be no natural light in there. Okay, that's
Travis Kelce, it's not too late, brother. Run!
I think it is too late.
Run!
This had been rumored for quite some time too, and the law enforcement confirmed it yesterday that this is happening. So,
do you know how
to text John's dad, see if he can get an invite?
Honestly,
it's the scoop.
It probably is too late because if Travis Kelce tried to call this off, I think there would be a mob of Swifties that murder him within the hour. They'd show up to his house with fire and pickaxes and just have a day destroying everything that he owns.
Yeah, I mean, that's just that probably would happen. He cannot call it off.
He's not the same guy he used to be, I'll say that.
Still playing football this year, though. Maybe married Travis Kelce will be different. Does she keep coming to Chiefs games now that they're married? Or now that it's no longer like a girlfriend thing, you know? Like, coming to the game is kind of like a girlfriend thing. Now that it's your wife, it's like, I don't need to do all that.
Brittany still goes to all the Chiefs games. They can be buddies.
That's true. I mean, they already are. Wonder if Ice Spice going to keep going. Okay, let's move on.
Ice Spice.
Right. Some other NBA transaction news. We mentioned this slightly in the open with the Jaylen Brown stuff. The Celtics had some good, I guess, news happen before the Jaylen Brown trade. Mitchell Robinson, the center of the New York Knicks, is leaving the Knicks to go to the Celtics on a 3-year, $47.5 million deal. This is the mid-level exception for Mitchell Robinson. Thought this was a fine ad. Mitchell Robinson, another guy, though, just never plays. So now you have Paul George and Mitchell Robinson in your hypothetical starting five. that just for sure one of them will be out in your first playoff game. Like 1,000% one of them will be out, maybe both. So it's a fine ad. Like their center rotation is still pretty below average.
Yeah. I don't think it's. I mean, it's a. I think you said it correctly. It's a fine addition.
Yeah.
It's not changing the way I think about the Celtics.
Will Bill Simmons lead with this at the podcast at 11 a.m. instead of the Jaylen Brown thing?
Yeah, this show's
We got
ended an
Mitchell
hour
Robinson.
early.
Yeah, we all have to tune into Bill Simmons at 11 a.m., by the way. Like, it's probably going to be the podcast of the year. So,
We
yeah.
don't see angry Bill Simmons all that often. He might get angry today.
I don't know if he
there's
will,
a day to
'cause
get
he's had
angry.
a full night of rest. If this would have been an immediate reaction, I think we would have seen that.
I think I would pay upwards of $75 to see a live reaction of him reading the Shams tweet or finding out in
Yeah.
some way. Maybe
I
he
saw
found out
like
before.
I mean, my Twitter feed last night was all that. It was just like I think Bill Simmons should charge a listening fee for this next podcast.
I would pay it
for how like enticed everyone is to listen to this. It's going to be hilarious. Other NBA news: the Lakers added Walker Kessler yesterday at the end of our show, but afterwards they just signed everybody. I think there was they must have thought that free agency was only open from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. yesterday because they signed Quentin Grimes, Mamu. I don't want to say his full last name because it's Sandro Mamu Kvelashvili.
You nailed it.
Something like that. And Colin Sexton. They signed all three of those guys on top of Walker Kessler. So that's basically their team. The white guys in Luka, Reeves, and Kessler. And now they got Grimes. They got Sexton. They got Mamu. They still have Bronny.
They're legit going to roll out an all-white lineup the first day of the year. And it's going to be insane.
Who's their other two?
It's Luka, Reeves, Jake LaRavia, Walker Kessler, and then whoever ends up starting at the 4.
LaRavia would be the 4.
Then who's the 3? TBD? Or is there
I don't
one
think
black
they have
guy?
I don't think they have a. They lost Kennard. Yeah, Quentin
Is it just
Grimes.
Quentin
They have
Grimes?
they have light-skinned guy. Yeah, it's pretty
I
tough.
would be willing
Stephen A.
to
Smith
bet
wasn't
that-
happy about
I
that.
saw that. That
I don't know if
was
you saw
nuts.
That. I mean, he's kind of spitting facts, though, right?
I think it's one thing to say, like, the last time there was 4 guys in a starting lineup that were all white, you'd probably have to go back to
The
60s.
Celtics in the 60s.
Yeah, when, there was 2 different leagues. Him saying that it's impossible to win a title with 5 white guys was like, I don't know if I would have said that.
It's
He's
so funny.
probably right. I don't know if I would have said that,
It's
though.
just hilarious. Nonetheless, it's still funny.
It is funny.
And then we did get the news yesterday as well. Thank you to Tobias Harris. Probably should have mentioned this in the open. Tobias Harris is gone from the Pistons. 2-year, $31 million deal with the San Antonio Spurs. So
Good for him, man.
the Spurs
Good for
are
him.
using their cap, and this is the mid-level exception for Tobias Harris. Yeah, good for Tobias. He's going to be still on obviously an extremely highly competitive team, and he gets a good amount of money as well based off of his playoff performance. The Tobias Harris tenure in Detroit, round 2, went much, much better than I think everyone could have ever expected. And I know we make all the jokes about him all the time, and I think they upgraded with John Collins nonetheless. Tobias Harris
did the Spurs upgrade?
He was the precise vet that the Pistons needed in these last 2 years. Like, just from a veteran present standpoint, he was exactly what this culture and this core needed. So thank you to Tobias Harris. I'm with you in the fact that if I'm the Spurs and our lone move of the offseason has been
A guy who
bring in
shoots
Tobias Harris.
guy who shoots 32% from the corners. Like, don't you want as much shooting around Wemby as possible?
I think he helps their, because remember in the playoffs, their half-court offense would become pretty gross in the second half of games. I think he helps that. But, yeah, if I'm a Spurs fan, I'd be a little bit like, we're really just going to add Tobias Harris, and that's our play this offseason?
Well, yeah.
All right.
I'd be a little frustrated, too. But then the first time we get a Wemby update is to his training this offseason when it's like, yeah, you don't understand. This guy was 4 a.m. doing sprints on the beach. He's gained 7 pounds of muscle. The villain arc has begun. Then I'd go back to feeling fine.
Yeah, I figured that was gonna come up at some point. Let's do one more thing here in the news, and we'll save the rest for later. Malik, by the way, this is ESPN's phrasing of this. Former NBA star Malik Beasley. Yes.
Oh, right.
Star player.
Runner-up for Sixth Man of the Year. That's a star in my mind.
That is a star. He pleads not guilty to his gambling charges, and then on his way out of the courthouse yesterday told the media that there is a lot more to come out from this, a.k.a. I think he's just about to snitch on everybody.
I don't think the people who, like, get in trouble for this realize that, like, even if they got threatened, hey, you have to do this, blah, 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 like, whatever. Maybe Beasley is going to snitch, and there's other people in charge.
It's been come out that he was doing this to pay off debt, that he was in debt with other outside sources.
It's like,
he didn't do this because he wanted to make. He didn't do this because he wanted to make $30,000 off of, like he did this because he kind of had to.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not like making it as an excuse by any means.
No, but it sounds like he is. Like, well,
sure.
There's guys above me. You can go get them. It's like, brother, you still rigged NBA games.
Yeah, you're still never playing again.
You're still probably going to jail. Don't get caught up in gambling, kids. 989-837-6125.
And here's the lock of the day.
Gambling in games you're playing in. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. Live in the Mid. Hey, Mid-Michigan, do your eyes feel itchy, dry, or irritated all day? That's not normal. And Mid-Modern Eye Care and Dry Eye Clinic specializes in dry eye treatment that actually works. If your eyes burn, water, or feel tired from screens, they can help you get real lasting relief. From advanced dry eye care to exams, glasses, and contacts, they've got you covered. Stop dealing with discomfort and start seeing comfortably again. See better, feel better with Mid-Modern Eye Care and Dry Eye Clinic next to Kroger in Midland.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Yeah, like everybody else, Kyle and I watched some soccer yesterday. Learned a lot. I learned what an offsides was, Kyle. I didn't know what an offsides was before yesterday. And as I was asking some people, they kind of looked at me sideways like, wait, aren't you the sports guy? Like, are you supposed to talk about sports? Yeah, soccer, total blind spot for me. But I did learn what an offsides was because the Bulligan goal got called back. And I learned what should and shouldn't be a red card, because that red card that Bulligan got yesterday that's going to keep him out of the next game in a knockout game, that's total BS. Like, coming from me, who doesn't even know all that much about soccer, clearly, because I didn't know what an offsides was until yesterday, that didn't look intentional at all. I don't understand how that could have been a red card. Red card to me, from my understanding, my little knowledge of soccer, is an intentional act of some sort of violence that could injure another player. Sure, it was a pretty nasty ankle roll, stepped on the ankle, but it's not like he went out of his way to go do that. He was making a play on the ball, and now he can't play in the next game? What are we talking about? It was insane.
Boo.
United States' best goal scorer now out for the round of 32. I couldn't believe that when I
That was the round of 32.
Or, I'm sorry, the round of 16. I couldn't believe it. What was that all about? We've got allegations of FIFA not wanting the host country, America, to win now. The refs are anti-America.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like,
what's happening?
This is my whole thing. If ever I'm watching a sport that I don't know a ton about, or even a league or a team, I love to be the conspiracy guy. That's kind of my whole thing. If I don't really pay that much attention to it, or even like a TV show that's something going on, I will just immediately be the guy that hops onto every dumb conspiracy theory there is, because it makes it more entertaining.
Can I give you mine?
Sure.
It's probably adjacent to yours. FIFA saw what America did in the Olympics this past year. They said, well, they stole it from Canada. They took hockey from Canada. They saw a couple of years ago, they were probably rooting for France to beat the United States in the gold medal game. No. The Avengers, LeBron and Steph and KD fought them off, and they won the gold medal.
So the U.S. has been winning too much.
U.S. has been winning too much. They already stole hockey from Canada. We can't let them steal soccer from anybody else, because any one of these countries losing to America, other than Bosnia, they were favored against Bosnia. Going forward, you lose to America, it's almost like oh man, you lost to those guys, the guys that soccer's their fifth, sixth sport that they play. You can't be losing. So now they're taking out our best players in an effort to keep soccer away from us, because they don't want us to be good at soccer. FIFA is well aware that we've been winning too much and stealing sports from other people.
I'm with you. It's ridiculous.
Did we win the baseball? No, we didn't win the baseball.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, but no one really cares about that. But that was kind of bad. We're the host country, man. Aren't we supposed to, what are you talking about? We watch the NBA Finals. You watch any sport, the home team just gets the whistle. That's just how sports work. Should it work that way? No. You don't get the anti. The fact that guy for Bosnia legit was making motions as if he just had a child.
If he got shot
with a
with a gun.
C-section. That was what it was like. The emotion on his face of OMG, I just tore my ACL and my Achilles and had an axe taken to my ankle.
Yeah, and got shot in the thigh.
Yes, correct. All of those things. And stabbed on top of it, too. And then immediately after the red card, it's oh, yeah, I'm good. I'll play the rest of the match. What are we talking about, dude? A red card for that? Like you said, I don't know all the rules.
Do you think
the red
the guy
card.
laying down
it clearly wasn't intentional.
Yeah.
And it didn't cause serious injury.
Do you think the guy laying down was I'm just not getting up until that red card comes out?
100%.
I will lay here until there's a red card that's being held up into the air. That's how it felt. What would you rate my conspiracy?
Because it went from a no call to a red card.
Yeah,
it wasn't even
it.
Initially called a yellow. It was just from a nothing to that type of suspension. And
this is the replay issue I have. Oh, let's look at it and then look at it 100 times to determine if it was intentional or not.
Well, and we've talked about this too. I've always been a person that is, in a playoff scenario, in a scenario where it is like a win or go home thing, to suspend a player for an additional game,
correct,
it has to be egregious. And I get the soccer, like I'm once again going to compare this to the NBA, but like it's similar to when Draymond Green was suspended in the 2016 NBA Finals. Like that's always gets talked about.
Kicked a guy in the nuts, which is a little different.
Wembanyama's potential suspension in the NBA Finals, that was getting talked about. Like it has to be something so bad where everyone agrees, yeah, that was worth the suspension. I think the Draymond thing was.
Mm-hmm.
I think Wembanyama wasn't.
But Draymond
crazy.
also had the reputation, had X amount of technical fouls leading up to that. Belligan, as far as I know, has zero like red card dirtiness on his resume.
I don't know, yeah.
At least checking in with the people that I know that follow soccer, there was no he doesn't have a track record of any of this stuff. So he didn't get the benefit of the doubt in any way.
Hey, but I will say that Tillman goal that put him up 2-0, that was sick.
That was really
that was awesome.
Yeah.
Rate your watching soccer experience 1 through 10. On a sports watching scale, not just a soccer scale, on a sports watching scale, 1 to 10, how much did you enjoy it?
I think I enjoyed my conspiracy theory more than the. I think it gets amplified as every round continues.
Sure,
like the
next
they were
round,
supposed to win this game, right? And we controlled the ball the entire
but it's
time
still
in the
first
half.
knockout round win since 2002.
Yeah, that's wild. I never felt like they were going to lose though, because they were controlling the ball the entire time, and then that wasn't necessarily the case once they went down a man. But then they scored, and it was like, oh, it's just over. Like they were in control basically the entire game. I think in the next round, when it's a little bit more like high stakes,
and it's Monday Night Football, by the way, in America,
and they don't have their
Belgium up for failure
top scorer, that's when I think it gets a little intensified. I am excited. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mint. More on the Tigers, more on this nasty rotation, some stats for you that you just might not believe based on the starters when we come back. Like I said, Ben Bosscher Show live on The Mint here on a Thursday.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
This is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Talk about a roller coaster. Yesterday, the Tigers. Troy Melton just puts together this awesome outing. It's just lights out for the entirety of his start, right? Doesn't give up a run. Yet again has one of these flawless performances. ERA down to 2.06 on the year. The whip is down to 0.80. The opponent batting average is .162, 162. He leads the Tigers in every single one of those categories. Yesterday, in total, he goes 6 1/3, only allows 2 hits, 1 walk, 7 Ks, 84 pitches. He was unbelievable yet again. And the Tigers just about blew it. Just about blew it. You know, the game gets real dicey, ends up getting tied. They go into the 10th inning. I had no confidence that they were going to pull it out based on how that 9th inning went. And Kiter Montero ends up coming in and saving the day with the save. He's just been maybe the MVP of the entire team this year. I know Scoople's obviously the best player, but he's missed a lot of time. Kiter's been on and off the team. They've brought him up. They've sent him down. They've brought him up. He's been a starter. He's been a long reliever. He's been a closer like he was yesterday. And he has just been phenomenal the entire time. The stats are what they are. They're not like going to wow you in any way. But he's done everything that they've asked him to do. When he has been a starter, he's been one of the best ones. Got Detroit out of a 10th and 11th inning jam yesterday. The value of being able to put in a guy in the 10th inning and know he can just kind of go for as many innings as you possibly need him to. I love everything Kiter Montero's done. He's not the secret sauce to yesterday's, well, he's kind of the secret sauce to yesterday's win, but he's not the secret sauce to what we're talking about right now. I genuinely think this rotation has become the best rotation in the American League. Exactly how we thought it was going to be. The last 4 days, this is somewhat of a small sample size, but it's exactly what you hoped this rotation could be at the beginning of the year. The last 4 days, Melton is starting to look more and more like a guy you can trust to be an ace by maybe as soon as next year. 6 1/3, 0 earned runs. Skubal, the day before, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, only allowed 1 hit. It was the home run. Mize, the day before that, 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 10 Ks. Flaherty, the day prior, 5 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 9 Ks. Altogether, the last 4 days, so just about a complete rotation around. It'll be a complete rotation once Framber Valdez hits the mound tonight. The last 4 days, a .37 ERA and a .41 whip. I don't think it's all that off the table or out of the realm of possibilities that the rest of the season and right now, the Tigers have the best rotation in all of baseball.
And this is exactly what you expected if this was a playoff series, right? Like,
yes.
You're doing the whole, like, because I see people say this. You know, you put out that stat about the last 4 days of the starting pitchers. I thought it was great just to highlight, like, this is awesome that this happened. And everyone is like, oh, but this is a small sample. This is only one start for the 4 of these guys. Okay,
you mean like a playoff series?
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I think it's such a big deal. This is what you envisioned. Like that, it's exactly it. This is exactly what the Tigers thought about when adding, and the funny thing is, this guy's not even a part of this, when adding Framber Valdez this year. And you knew that the ceiling of Troy Melton, we didn't know if he was going to hit it right away. Man, he hit it the second he showed up in a Tigers uniform this year, and he has been the same guy since.
If Framber Valdez is your 5th best pitcher,
which, like, right now, he is. Flaherty's just in the middle of a hot streak, and he will come back down to earth. Like, he just will.
And Framber will get better.
Yes, 100%. So I guess that's the trade-off there. But
like, if he's your 5th best guy, you're in a pretty damn good situation.
Imagine this is a playoff series. Imagine this is Seattle last year, American League Championship Series. And you have these 4 guys in the first 4 games. It's a sweep.
They had exactly.
The offense doesn't need to come to play. They don't need to hit 6 home runs like they did against Cam Schlittler the other night.
The last 4 days, the starters have pitched 24 1/3 innings and have allowed 1 total run.
And it was a Skubal solo shot. Yeah.
What?
In Yankee Stadium. Now, yes, they're playing against the budgeted Yankee lineup right now that is completely dwindled by injury. They've lost 7 games in a row.
They could be playing against the Angels or Rockies. It doesn't matter. That's a .37 ERA over 24 innings. It doesn't matter who you're playing. That's a very impressive number.
For sure, it is. And so that's the part about this that is like, wow, this is what you envision for September. The issue is the team is still 11 games below 500. Like that's where this issue comes. The fact that this happened in July and they haven't been able to correlate everything. And yesterday was the perfect example of how the Tiger season has gone because it was day 4 of having a starter have an unreal outing. And it was, I texted this to our little Tigers group chat. Like, are we legit in the middle of like the best stretch of Tigers starting pitching in 10 years?
You remember that stat we shared with everyone yesterday, the 3 straight days of, 9 strikeouts and
only 1 hit.
Yeah, or less than 2 hits.
Less than 2 hits, yeah. Because Flaherty gave up 2 hits.
That's only happened twice in American League history, 3 days in a row. And the other time it happened was the Verlander, Scherzer,
2012 Tigers,
Anibal Sanchez Tigers, and they just pulled it off again. And they were really close to doing it for a 4th consecutive day.
Who had another awesome day. So, like, the fact that I was like, we're in the middle, and then they blow the game. Like, that's the funniest part about this team is, like,
Matlin doesn't even get the win.
They blow the game. Drew Anderson, which, like, I see a lot of people blaming him. I thought Jake Rogers was just as much to blame as Drew Anderson.
Or A.J. Hinch for not taking him out of the game.
The wild pitch should have been a pass ball on Rogers, and it came after he went out to the mound for a meeting, and then that's what they do next. And then, obviously, like you said, the whole time, Benetti and the TV crew, they're like,
why is Kenley Jansen not
Kenley
in?
Jansen's been warming up for, like, quite some time. We're giving Drew Anderson the 2-inning save, and even
remember,
after
he wasn't warming up.
He's staying in? Like, what are we doing? Why is Ken? I get, like, Kenley Jansen's had his struggles.
Kiter should have been in the whole time. Kiter should have been in 2 innings prior.
Yeah.
You've got a starter in the bullpen. Take advantage of it. You could have checked him in the 8th inning and just had him pitch the rest of the 4 innings, and it would have been better than any of the other options out there. Kiter Montero's become our best guy out of the pen, without a doubt. He's awesome.
Yeah. He's just been such a weapon this year. But it was another example of, oh, man, this is just not the A.J. Hinch that we know. Like, this is just not, like, whatever version of this A.J. Hinch is, this is just not the same guy. Because what are we doing? Keeping in Drew Anderson. And then, like, I felt the same way. Okay, they're going to lose this game. This is classic.
For sure.
Troy Melton has a great outing. Doesn't matter. They're going to blow it and lose it. And then you got a flash of, like, wow, okay, they're going to go into a getaway day into extra innings and win this game. And they score 4 runs in the 11th or whatever it was. Like, I was completely shocked that they ended up pulling it out. But the starting pitching combined with, while they did pull out one of these resilient type of wins despite blowing the game, it's a pretty good stride of baseball right now that the Tigers are playing.
So I'm going to ask you the exact same question I asked you yesterday. Now knowing what, like, because the whole reason I said no to this question, my answer is always no. Do you believe in the Tigers now that you've seen glimpses of this rotation being what we always thought it could be? It was always injured. Now that everyone's healthy again and we're seeing glimpses of the best rotation in baseball, do you believe that there's some sort of slight possibility that they can catch lightning in a bottle in July and get themselves in a position to where on August 3rd, they don't have to be sellers? My answer was always no, I don't believe, because the bullpen's not very good.
That still exists.
This Kiter Montero thing is real, though.
You got one guy?
I know it's one guy. Day. I know. It's a real guy, though. He's a legit weapon out of the pen. And also, this 4-game stretch, if they can keep up, like, half of this, if all these guys can be half this good.
I mean, they did this on the road, too, with how bad they've been on the road.
They could be right in a position where it's like, I guess even me saying that out loud.
The worst position to be in, you mean?
When you're like 3 games
where the
back.
Tigers are going to convince themselves that, maybe we could go on a little bit of a push here. We don't need to trade Tarek Skubal, actually.
I think this is all the more reason to still trade Tarek Skubal if you think that this bullpen or this rotation with if Melton and Flaherty and Montero and Mize and Jackson Jobe are all pitching well, I think it's even more reason to trade Tarek Skubal. And this is also part of the reason I've made the case that they shouldn't trade Casey Mize. Like, you trade Skubal, so be it. You trade Flaherty, okay. Now you can replace those 2 guys with Melton, or with Montero and maybe Jackson Jobe, right?
And Verlander still exists.
Sure. And you still have a pretty good rotation. Like, you can spark your offense and continue to have a pretty good rotation if you keep Casey Mize. If you do a full fire sale, then you kind of lose a lot of that. So I'll ask you the question again. Is the rotation starting to make you think differently that, hey, maybe they'll be in a little bit of different of position at the deadline than you necessarily thought?
You're asking me now?
Yeah.
Oh. 1,000% no.
No.
100% no. You still trade everybody.
Everybody.
Like even Casey Mize, you still trade everybody because here's the issue. The second that you decide not to sell, and it's specifically Skubal, because I have started to have the thought of, man, this Tigers front office is just going to do the thing that they can't. They're going to do the thing where we're at the trade deadline and the Tigers are now 6 games below 500 and they're 3.5 or 4 games back of the division and they're 4 games back of a wild card. And they're going to do the thing of, hey, we've built something here in the last 2 months in June and July, and we think that we can go for a run to the playoffs. Okay, that's not the goal, is making the playoffs. The second you don't trade Tarek Skubal and you decide we're going to keep this thing together, we're not going to do anything, because they wouldn't buy. Buying would be like the worst thing they could ever do.
It'd be insane.
They would just stand pat and push forward. The second you do that, it is no longer, oh, could we go on a run? No, if you don't win the World Series, it is one of the biggest failed decisions that in the organization could have ever made in not trading Skubal.
As you pointed out to open this segment, though, this rotation, they pitch like that in a playoff series.
You got to do it for
and
3
they
of
sweep.
them. Because you have to win it's no longer like, oh, we could go on a run. We could even, we could make you have to win the World Series if you don't trade Tarek Skubal to make it worth it. And this team is not winning the World Series.
I think if you win the AL, it's worth it.
It's just not.
You gave yourself a chance to win the World Series. I think that's really all you can ask for. You get to the World Series and lose to the Dodgers. What are we going to, come on.
And then you lose Tarek Skubal for nothing, and you're not hanging any sort of banner. Oh, we won the pennant. Great.
And you hung a banner.
Well, we won the pennant. That's awesome.
It kind of is awesome for a team that hasn't done that in over a decade.
And then you know what you're doing after that? Your team is just going to be mid for the next 5 to 10 years.
Correct.
All for one
Kyle,
run.
I still want to trade Tarek Skubal no matter what.
And that's best case scenario, by the way. Is going, we're talking crazy talk right now to say going to the World Series.
Still want to trade Tarek Skubal no matter what. But I am starting to think that this rotation, if they can keep pitching the way that they're pitching right now, it can potentially put them in a situation where they get to August and it's like, oh, wow. Maybe Tarek Skubal being traded is not what they're going to do. I ultimately think they should still do it to spark some offense, get some prospects in the farm system, because I think the rotation's good enough outside of Tarek Skubal to where you can still survive.
Yes.
I think this rotation's nasty.
It gets Kiter Montero back in the rotation.
Awesome.
At the end of the day, we're sitting here talking about Montero, he's a great bullpen piece. This guy's a starting pitcher. This guy is a starter. He's gone 7 innings plus multiple occasions this year. He does not deserve to be pitching in a jam spot that Drew Anderson puts him in the 10th inning last night. He deserves to be starting, and that would allow him to do it.
So has the way that the Tigers rotation has been pitching, with the idea that Montero's available as well to be in the rotation, has that changed your approach to what the Tigers should do at the deadline? Has it made you feel different in any way regarding what they should do on August 3rd with Tarek Skubal or anybody else? 989-837-6125. It's the Ben Bosscher Show. The show, as always, is brought to you by Aired Insurance Group. They understand not everyone's insurance needs are the exact same. They want to work personally with you to create something best suited for your needs. That is Aired Insurance Group. I'll tell you what, man, at Aired Insurance Group, if you're looking for home or auto or life or business coverage, they make protection that actually fits your life. If you're looking for a team that takes the guesswork out of insurance, this is it. Be sure to go follow Aired Insurance Group on social media to stay connected, see how they're helping people every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, so has the rotation, the way that the Tigers have been pitching, made you feel any differently about this year's deadline? I feel mostly the same, other than if they are to continue to be scorching hot, this rotation gets you in a position to where they're picking up some more wins than you necessarily expect, and they have an awesome July. I've stood pretty firm on keep Casey Mize around. Maybe, just maybe, you have to consider keeping Glaber around.
Like, why? I don't understand the reason why.
So
it's just the wrong decision at the end of the day.
Let's go this.
Because they won't be in a playoff position by the trade deadline, right? They just won't be.
In a playoff position?
They will not be in the playoff picture at the trade deadline. Correct.
Let's say this. So the best record in June for any baseball team was the Miami Marlins, who went 20-6. Let's say the Tigers do that this month. It's like they shock everybody, 20-6, and suddenly they're above 500.
Sure, let's say they do something crazy. Sure, let's do crazy hypothetical.
Well, it's something that actually happened this last month. It's not all that crazy. They had the best team in baseball. Like, the best team in baseball in the month of May was the Brewers, who went 19-7.
Good teams, yeah. Tigers went, 6-20 in May?
In May. It was disastrous. If the Tigers were somehow able to pull out the best record in baseball this month, and suddenly they're 500 on August 1st, I still want to trade Tarek Skubal. But maybe I'd be a little bit more, let's hold on to Gleyber Torres. Let's hold on to Casey Mize. Maybe we still trade away Jack Flaherty too. And all of a sudden, the two guys that get replaced in the rotation, Verlander and Flaherty, that is now Montero and either Jackson Jobe or Justin Verlander. Maybe that's the route that it goes. But maybe you have to be a little bit more selfish. Or maybe you still trade Gleyber Torres and you prioritize getting a second baseman back in the Tarek Skubal deal or the Jack Flaherty deal, to some extent. Maybe you have to be 10% more selfish in keeping players if you are somehow, some way in a position where you're 500 or better at this year's deadline, which, again, would take a miracle in July. But the way that this rotation's pitching, if they continue to do that, if they keep pitching the way that they're pitching right now,
which is not
ungodly,
obviously. They're not going to just never give up an earned run. That's just not going to happen.
I know.
But I think that the point stands in the fact that I'm even more wanting to trade Tarek Skubal based off of the way they've been pitching, because you feel good about this core going forward. You can add to it. That's the part that I'm excited about, is you have Troy Melton and Kiter Montero as legit foundational pieces of the future of this starting rotation.
And Jackson Jobe.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about the guys that are performing right now. And we can have the debate about, do you trade Casey Mize? Do you try to bring him back, this or that? Jack Flaherty, if you didn't trade him, that'd be pretty asinine. And then obviously Tarek Skubal as well. But to have Melton and Montero the way that they have pitched this year, we can talk about how you and I were high on Troy Melton. We weren't this high. I did not think he was going to be maybe the best starter on the team right now this year. And Montero, you're talking about being the team MVP. The fact that those two guys you for sure have as a part of this rotation going forward. And then, like you said, hopefully we get Jackson Jobe post-trade deadline to return to this rotation. We know Reese Olson is going to be back next year. Framber Valdez is under contract. Boom, there's your 5 guys right there. Use Tarek Skubal to boost up this prospect pool and use him to boost up maybe to get some sort of addition bat to add to this group, to add a potential relief arm to this group going forward. That's the route that if I feel more comfortable moving off of Skubal because of how good everyone else has been. Not because, they're so good that they're going to get into a playoff spot, because they're still so far out from doing that.
You want to take a stab at what their odds are to make the playoffs, both from a betting standpoint and Fangraphs?
My guesses are going to be way off. Fangraphs, 5%. Is that too high?
No. 23%. 23.6%.
I mean, that's just crazy.
Saying 1 out of 4 times.
That's unbelievable.
The season plays out.
They're the third worst team in the American League.
Who was on the broadcast for when it was Amazon Prime and they said Tigers have the best roster in the American League Central?
Oh, for the TBS game? Yeah.
TBS. Sorry.
Brian Anderson and those guys. They said like this is the best roster. They were just kind of like casual about it.
It's they said it for a reason. 23.6% chance to make the playoffs on Fangraphs. The betting odds would not favor the Tigers as much.
Probably because there's 1,000 teams ahead of them in the wild card race.
Well, I'm not actually. Playoffs here. I was looking at division. To make the playoffs, the Tigers are 4-1.
Plus 400.
Plus 400. That's it.
I mean, I still would probably think their best route is the division. Like you're
That's
probably
plus
just
900.
You're probably just more willing to bet that the White Sox have some sort of a fallout, and they're not going to be crazy buyers at the deadline either, because the White Sox are owned by, they're not going to buy. Cleveland is not going to buy. So, in Minnesota, like they're fine. They're just a little bit better than the Tigers. So I think that's the route that if the Tigers were going to do anything, I think it's there. The wild card just has too many teams ahead of them that you expect to continue to get better as the season goes out, like a Toronto and Seattle and Houston and even the Athletics, who have just fallen off a little bit.
3 years in a row, there's just an all-time collapse from the team leading the American League Central at the. I'm not even saying the Tigers are the team that overtake the White Sox,
right? But if it
I
just
could very
again,
much see the White Sox having an all-time collapse the year after the Tigers have an all-time collapse, the year after the Twins had an all-time collapse in the last stretch of the season.
I could too.
8 games back from the wild card spot right now. 8 games back from the White Sox right now in the division. You swept them last time you played them. I can't believe how much the Twins are still 3.5 games ahead of the Tigers. That team's supposed to suck.
They've just been so the same team all year. They've just been 5-ish games below 500 the entire season.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile,
the Tigers have been.
They'll get hot, get up to 10 games below 500, then they go back to 14. They can't get over that 10 number. They can't get back to single digits under 500.
They did didn't they get to 9 not that long ago, or did they get to 10 and then they went to the Houston
10.
Then they went to the Houston series, and that's when then things got pretty rough. Yeah, they got to 10. They got to 34 and 44,
and I think they've done that.
And
twice,
then they lost 3 games in a row. So tonight they can get back to 10. It's
a big number.
4-game series with Texas. That's what I'm saying. If you go into this, it's a 3-game series.
You don't play on Saturday or on Friday?
No Friday game?
What the hell?
Wait, what? Yeah, I just assumed this was a 4-gamer since it started today. Is there baseball on Friday? No, everybody's playing except the Tigers.
What? I
Friday,
also was
day
just
off?
working under the assumption that this was a 4-game series. When has a series ever started on Thursday, but it's a 3-game series?
There's got to be a reason for this. Somebody explain this.
What?
Is this because Texas in July 4th, they're just we need to have a day off for this?
But they're playing on July 4th.
Yeah. Somebody's got to know a reason
I don't know
for this.
that.
Why are they having a day off on Friday? Anyways, if you can if you sweep Texas and then Monday we can have a real combo of okay, something's going on here.
Plus they would win the season series against Texas if they just win this series.
Well, and then you would also have
right?
your
Do they play in the second half?
You would have not beaten, but you would have at least given some momentum to, okay, this team actually isn't the worst team on the road ever, because they were. You would have back-to-back sweeps on the road, and then you would go into 2 straight series at home against the Athletics and the Phillies.
Yeah, we only play the Texas Rangers twice this entire year. They've already won a series once against them, 2-1. They win this series with Valdez, Flaherty, Mize on the mound. You win the season series against them. You just got that's in a vacuum. You got to just start thinking about it like that. How many teams ahead of you in the standings in the wild card can you win the season series against still? You lost it to the Astros. All right. Well, can you beat the Texas Rangers? We'll see. 989-837-6125. Around the league, something I'm really excited about when we come back. A little football in, a little regional football as a teaser for you. All right. Northwood. Support the pride, the passion, and the tradition of Northwood Athletics. From packed gyms to big plays on the field, the Timberwolves compete with heart every single day. Catch all the action, cheer on Northwood Athletics as they continue building champions in competition and the classroom and the community.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building. Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
You know, a question that gets brought up a lot. Who's got the best football players? Who's got the best basketball players? Where are all these people coming from? Well, let's find out. This is Around the League.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
So some kind gentleman at ESPN put together rosters representing 8 different regions of the United States. California, the Northeast, South Atlantic, Florida, the Southeast, the Southwest, Texas, and the Midwest. It's up to us to determine who has the best team, all right? So here's how I think we're going to decide this. The scoring system is as followed. 5 points are going to be rewarded for the top quarterback. 4 points are going to be rewarded for the second quarterback group. 3 points for the third. So the quarterback is the most heavily weighted position. Defense is going to be all grouped together. Wide receiver and offensive line. The top group will be 3 points. The second group will be 2 points. And the third group will be 1 point. And then running back and tight end will each be getting the top 3 teams that we think have the group will all get 1 singular point. Make sense?
Yeah.
That's how the scoring will work. It's based on the value position. All right, let's go through. Should we go through the full rosters or just try to determine the quarterbacks? Probably just go through the full rosters, right?
Might as well.
All right.
At least, like, maybe not the entirety of it all.
Correct. California, quarterbacks, Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels, Tyler Algier is the running back. Here's the receivers. St. Brown, Drake London, Chris Olave, Devontae Adams, with Brock Bowers as the tight end. Notable players on defense, Jaylen Phillips.
This is where they're from, right? Like where they were born and raised?
Yes.
Got it.
Notable players on defense, Jaylen Phillips, Vita Vea, Kenny Clark, Eric Armstead, Fred Warner, Carson Schlesinger. These guys, for sure the best linebacker duo, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the linebackers are crazy.
McDuffie, DJ Reed, Jalen Johnson, Cam Bynum with Nick Folk as the kicker.
I mean, California is always going to have a ton of good football. Southern Cal, obviously, known for that. Tyler Algier's their best running back?
Yeah, it's not great.
They don't have a single other... I mean, he's not even a starter.
Wait till you hear this.
There's not a starting running back from California?
Guess not. The Northeast
Those
roster
receivers are loaded, though.
Is Joe Flacco as the quarterback with Will Levis as the backup. This is Connecticut, Delaware, Massachusetts, Maine, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York,
Joe Flacco
Pennsylvania.
go to school?
Joe Flacco went to school at...
You just said one of them.
UMass?
Delaware.
Yeah,
pretty good one.
Saquon and Jonathan Taylor are the running backs.
Ooh, okay, really good.
The wide receivers are DJ Moore, Chris Godwin, and Marvin Harrison. Yikes.
But if you have those running backs and Flacco's your QB, we're just running the ball.
Kyle Pitts is the tight end. Notable players on defense, Joey Porter, Mikey Sandristil, Abdul Carter, Jared Verse, Josh Hines Allen.
Okay, not bad. Honestly, pretty good.
The South Atlantic, Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, D.C. Drake May and Caleb Williams are the 2 quarterbacks. Oh, boy.
Wait, who and Caleb Williams?
Drake May.
No, Drake May.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, you said it wrong.
Marion Hampton and Travion Henderson are the 2 running backs.
Really? 2 rookies from last year. It's a young team.
The receivers are Diggs, Addison, and Deebo Samuel. Ugh. Tyler Warren is your tight end. With your linebacker or your notable defensive players, DeMarcus Lawrence, Byron Young, Sexy Dexy, Tremaine Edmonds, Kobe Durant, Nick and Eamon Warrior. Tyler Bass is the kicker. Florida, quarterback, Lamar Jackson, Fernando Mendoza. The running backs are Derrick Henry and James Cook. The wide receivers are Zay Flowers, Christian Watson, and Calvin Ridley. Ugh. Notable players on defense. This is a nasty one, Kyle.
Ooh. Yeah, Florida, I kind of could expect that.
Nick Bosa, Trey Hendrickson, Nick Bonito, Jalen Carter, Leonard Williams is just your defensive line.
That's just the D-line.
Pat Surtain, Devon Witherspoon, Quinion Mitchell, Derwin James as your DBs. This might take the cake for the best defense.
This is just Florida. This isn't even Southeast.
Just Florida.
They don't even get like Georgia in here. Wow. Florida's loaded.
Now the Southeast.
Wait, who's the QB of Florida?
Lamar.
Sorry? Yeah. This team is the best one.
But their receivers are bad. Zay Flowers, Christian Watson, Calvin Ridley.
Sounds like the Ravens team.
Let's keep going, though. Southeast, this is Alabama, Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi,
this
Tennessee.
could be pretty good.
Trevor Lawrence and Bo Nix are your quarterbacks. Jahmyr Gibbs is your running back.
Ooh.
Pickens, A.J. Brown,
Give me
Nico
this
Collins, and DK Metcalf are your receivers.
Nico Collins, you said, is in here?
Yes. Pickens, A.J. Brown, Nico Collins, DK Metcalf.
Pickens, first guy. Okay.
Notable players on your defensive line, or on your defense in general: Will Anderson, Travon Walker, Roquan Smith, Nate Wiggins, J.C. Horn, A.J. Terrell, Kyle Hamilton.
It's like pretty good.
It's pretty solid.
It's pretty good.
It's the Southwest, which is Arkansas, Arizona, Colorado, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Nevada, New Mexico, Utah.
Arkansas in the Southwest. All
Dak
right.
Prescott and Brock Purdy are your quarterbacks. Ready for this? Bijan and CMC are your running backs.
Oh, so it's just the Saquon Taylor group on crack.
Oh, no. Watch this. Their receivers: Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Puka Nacua.
I thought Puka Nacua was from Hawaii.
I think they do. Where did Puka Nacua go to school? Because Penei Sewell's
Went
on
to
this
BYU.
group as well. Yeah, so they include the Hawaii guys to where they went to college. So
Sure. So they get thrown in Utah.
Penei Sewell gets here too.
Wait, so this region is way too big.
Correct.
Utah and Arkansas are in the same region here.
So
In Louisiana?
pick your poison quarterback. Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy. Bijan
Yeah,
and CMC
either
are
one.
your running backs. Then your receivers: Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Puka. And guess who your tight end is? Oh, the best tight end in football, Trey McBride.
So the offense is legit insane.
Your defense players are Cam Jordan, Calais Campbell, Patrick Queen, Derek Stingley. So a little weaker on that
Yeah,
side.
Stingley nice, but kind of washed other guys.
It's the best offense we have so far.
Yeah, okay.
The Texas group:
Oh,
Stafford and Mahomes, pick your quarterback. Devon Achane, JSN, CeeDee Lamb, Garrett Wilson, Mike Evans are your wide receivers. Myles Garrett.
wait, so Mahomes and Myles Garrett on the same squad?
Yep. Daniil Hunter.
That might
also-
honestly be all I need to hear.
Oh, just wait until you hear the rest of this defense. Myles Garrett, Daniil Hunter, Max Crosby, Milton Williams, Byron Murphy are all on your same defensive line. Christian Gonzalez, Reek Woolen, and Antoine Winfield are all in your secondary. It's disgusting.
Where's the Michigan group?
Right here, the Midwest, the final group.
So who does this all consist of?
Joe Burrow, Kirk Cousins are your
no,
quarterbacks.
you're like the states.
Oh, Illinois, Iowa, Indiana, Kansas, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, Ohio, Wisconsin.
Pretty large region.
Joe Burrow and Kirk Cousins are your quarterbacks. Breece Hall and Jeremiah Love are your running backs. Terry McLaurin, Jamison Williams, and Alec Pierce are your wide receivers.
No, Isaac Tesla?
No. Travis Kelce's your tight end. You've got Hutch, TJ Watt, and Van Ginkel on defense. You've got Zach Bond, Jack Campbell. You've got Sauce Gardner, Cooper DeJean, Jesse Bates, and Julian Love as your DBs. Pretty good defense.
Not as good as I thought.
Not as good as I thought either. So let's award the points. We get 5 points for the best quarterback group, 4 for the second, third for the third. So the quarterback groups: Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels. So keep that one in mind. Joe Flacco, Will Levis, not even in consideration. Drake May and Caleb Williams. Is that better than Josh Allen and Jaden Daniels?
No.
I agree.
It's good. It's pretty good.
Lamar and Fernando, not as good as those
No.
ones. Trevor and Bo Nix.
But also, you're
not as
only
good.
playing one quarterback. That's the thing. So it's like, I still am taking Josh and Jaden.
I think Mahomes and Stafford should be the number one group,
Yeah,
though.
I can agree with that.
So that team's going to get 5 points for that, right?
The Texas team.
Yeah, 5 points for having the best quarterback. The second best quarterback group, I think, is Josh Allen and Jaden
Yep.
Daniels. So they get 4 points.
And then probably May, Caleb.
Yeah. Those are 3. All right. Wide receivers.
It's the one with Puka and Jamar. And
That's number one. And it's
1,000%.
not close.
1,000%.
So they get, that is the, which group is that? That's the Southwest.
Yeah, the huge group.
So they're going to get 4 points for that. The second best wide receiver group, is it Pickens, A.J. Brown, Nico Collins,
The
DK
California
Metcalf?
one. St. Brown, London, that group.
You think that's better than Pickens, A.J. Brown, Nico Collins, and DK Metcalf?
But what? Name me all the other California ones again. Outside of St. Brown and London, who else was it? Devontae Adams was in that.
Olave and London.
Yeah, give me that. Give me that group. Give me California.
Okay, so they're going to get 3 points. Keep this going because we got a little bit longer to get to. JSN, CD, Garrett Wilson, Mike Evans. Is that better than the group of... What was the other group we had for consideration?
The Pickens one, right?
Yeah, Pickens, A.J. Brown, Nico Collins, or DK Metcalf.
That group's probably better.
That one that I just named?
Yeah.
Okay, they're going to get 2 points. All right, defense. I think the defense pretty unanimously goes to the
Florida team, right? Wasn't that with the crazy one?
Bosa, Hendrickson, Benito, Jalen Carter, Leonard Williams,
James,
Surtain, Witherspoon, Quinion Mitchell, Derwin James.
Yeah, that's the best one. But then the one with Garrett and Crosby.
That's got to be 2.
Got to be 2. That's Texas, yeah.
The top team gets 4 points for this. Texas, another, because of these nasty defense, they're going to get another. That's the second defense?
Texas probably going to just win this thing, aren't they?
3 because of the defense. But they've got 8 points so far. The third best defense is probably... I mean, I think it's the Midwest.
I would say the Michigan one, yeah, the Michigan one was pretty good.
Hutch, TJ Watt, Van Ginkel, Zach Vaughn, Jack Campbell, Sauce Gardner, Cooper DeJean, Jesse Bates.
Yeah.
I'm fine with giving the Midwest its first.
You get a little bit of bias there.
That's fine. So they get 2 points. I was going to do offensive line. I'm just going to skip that for now. Running back, tight end. So the 3 best running back groups all get 1 singular point. The 3 best tight end groups all get 1 singular point.
Okay. Running back groups, Bijan CMC 1, and then Taylor Barkley 2.
Yep. And the Jahmyr Gibbs one?
Probably just Gibbs one? Just being 3rd? Yeah, I agree.
So 1.
Bijan CMC in the same offense would be
or Derrick Henry and James Cook. Should they be the last
one?
They
should be. They should be, yeah. I love Gibbs, but they have 2 league guys.
Okay. And then the last one is tight ends. Who that should just go to.
McBride should just get it, and then. But was there any duo tight ends?
No, there's none listed. Bauer should be the other one.
Yeah, it should probably just go McBride, Bowers, wherever Kittle is, probably 3rd.
Kittle's not on here. Tyler Warren, can he get one?
Kittle's not on here.
No.
What does that mean? He's not from America?
No, I think it means that he was from one of these other ones, and they only picked 1 tight end for each group. Like there was no multiple tight end regions.
So George Kittle was born in Madison, Wisconsin. So who is the Midwest tight end?
Kelsey.
That's probably why. That's dumb. Kittle's better.
I'm just going to give it to Warren.
Okay.
So that means in total, California got 8 total points. They had 4 points for having the best quarterback duo, or second best quarterback duo. They got 3 points for having the second best wide receiver duo, and they got 1 point for having Brock Bowers. California, 8 points.
You can just say the total points.
Northeast, they only got 1 singular point for the Saquon and Taylor duo. The South Atlantic got 4 total points for the quarterback duo of Drake May and Caleb Williams and Tyler Warren. Florida, they only got 1 point.
Wow, just because of the defense?
No, because we said they had
the best defense.
First defense, yeah. So they actually got 5 points.
Who's the winner? That's all I want to know.
I'm trying to I'm adding it up right now. The Southeast only got 1 singular point, or 4 points. The Southwest, man, I really thought the Southwest was going to cook. They got 4 points for having the top wide receiver group, and then they got 2 additional points for having the best running back group and the best wide receiver group, or the best tight end. So they only got 6. That offense might never not score a touchdown, though. That's the crazy wide receiver group plus the running backs plus Dak. And then Texas, they got 8 points as well because they have the best quarterback group and the second best defensive group. So we've got two teams tied. We've got
a tie between Texas and California, which makes sense.
I don't like that this ended in a tie.
Dude loves ties.
Okay, then here's the tiebreaker. Who's got the better offensive line? Trent Williams, Lane Johnson, Rashawn Slater, Tyler Smith all make up the Texas offensive line. That's really good. California's offensive line is Josh Simmons, Mr. Offsides, Elijah Vera Tucker, Aaron Banks.
Texas
Cole
craps
Miller.
on this.
So Texas wins. Texas has the best football player.
Makes sense, man. High school football in Texas.
It's different. And they didn't even get any points for their JSN, CeeDee Lamb, and Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, and that's pretty nasty.
All right, Texas is the best group. That's around the league for you today. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mid.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
It's time to remember that.
Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, Kyle, what do you got for me? You just told me during the break you got something for this segment.
Well, I just wanted to ask you, we only have a couple minutes here. This offseason in the NBA, 2026 offseason, been pretty crazy, right? Jaylen Brown traded, Giannis, Kawhi, LaMelo Ball, LeBron is going to go somewhere else. Is this better than the infamous 2019 NBA offseason? Let me refresh your memory of the moves made that offseason. Of course, Kawhi and Paul George go to the Clippers at 3 a.m. It was like the craziest thing ever to wake up to. It was on a weekend. Some people were still up because it was on the weekend. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, DeAndre Jordan all signed with the Nets. That was pretty big. Jimmy Butler gets traded to Miami when Tobias Harris infamously gets kept in Philadelphia over Jimmy Butler. Anthony Davis got traded to the Lakers to kick off the offseason. We all knew that was going to happen, but that still was obviously a major move made. The late move of that offseason was Russell Westbrook getting traded to Houston for Chris Paul. That happened after OKC decided to trade Paul George and kind of blow things up. And then a couple other minor moves. Kemba Walker signed and trade to Boston. Mike Conley to the Jazz. Julius Randle to the Knicks. Derrick Rose to the Pistons. Is this better than that offseason?
I'd have to say no, right?
I think no as well. But the second LeBron goes somewhere else, then I might be like, ooh. Because LeBron...
Like, how many All-Stars have gotten moved this year? LaMelo?
I love how that's the first one you say.
He's the first guy to get traded.
Giannis,
Giannis, Jaylen Brown.
Brown, LaMelo.
4. Yeah, that's
Are we missing anything else? Has anything else crazy happened?
I don't believe so.
I don't
And then
think
LeBron will move teams as well.
Yeah, but like LeBron moving in itself is already crazy. But yeah, right there, I mean, you had
5.
Kawhi, Paul George, Durant, Kyrie Irving.
Paul George would be 6 this offseason.
Sure. DeAndre Jordan was a good center at that time. Jimmy Butler, Anthony Davis, Westbrook, Rand. Yeah, that's
it's got to be that one.
Guys.
It's got to be that offseason.
Yeah, that offseason is insane. I don't know if that ever gets. I've just been seeing people on Twitter be like, "Step aside, 2019 offseason.
No,
here's the 2026 offseason."
No, I don't think so. I don't think it can. That one, there was so much transaction that it's like almost impossible to get anywhere near.
It was insane. The Kawhi Paul George thing in itself was just like.
Unbelievable. I woke up. My family was on vacation, and I woke up first. It was like butt crack of dawn. Saw that and went and stood up, and my entire family woke up because I did that, and they were all pissed at me because I woke everyone up
and then
way
you
too early.
It to them, and they were like, no.
Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are both Clippers. What the hell? And they didn't care at all. Yeah. All right, 11 o'clock hour when we come back.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9.
Easy Electric Studios. This is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
The NBA, it's the league that keeps you on your toes even when you're in the midst of the offseason. We've got Jaylen Brown being traded to the Philadelphia 76ers, the Celtics' arch rival in the Eastern Conference, for really just one first-round pick. They got two, but one of those was just simply to take on Paul George. So those two players swapped teams. You've got Giannis now on the Miami Heat. You've got Kawhi Leonard now on the Toronto Raptors. LeBron could join the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Miami Heat at any day now. Could happen, could not. Nonetheless, you look around the Eastern Conference from a Pistons standpoint, and there's a lot of competition for you. Obviously, the Pistons claimed that 1 seed last year, but we all kind of knew deep down. We all thought they had a chance, but when they lost, it made sense why. They've gotten marginally better this offseason. Everyone else has gotten substantially better. I mentioned the Heat. I mentioned the Sixers, who have officially jumped the Pistons. Heat maybe have. The Celtics are still going to be a very good team. The Indiana Pacers, they get Tyrese Halliburton back. They're going to be fantastic. Cleveland's still technically better than Detroit, too, beating them in a playoff series. New York, the defending champions. Orlando took them toe-to-toe in the ropes. The Pistons are falling behind a little bit, even though they've gotten better this offseason offensively by adding Isaiah Joe, by adding Abuka Okoro, right? This is
John Collins.
John Collins, thank you. This is a better team than it was during the regular season by a step. Everyone else has taken a leap, it sounds like. It feels like. And all of a sudden, there's 9 teams that are going into this season thinking they have a legitimate chance to win this conference. And the Pistons are just kind of lost in the shuffle of those 9 teams. They got to do something to make sure that they feel like they still can win the Eastern Conference. Because as of right now, I don't really think that's feasible.
Yeah, that's the big part. They're not done yet, right? Like there's still plenty of offseason left. And I understand that, not frustration, but it is a little bit of frustrating when you're a Pistons fan and you're seeing all these other teams make the massive move. The Pistons were never getting their next best player like some of these other teams are, like Miami, Toronto, and you could maybe argue Philadelphia just got their new best player. But the urgency now, it feels a little bit more at a premium for the Pistons to make a move. There already was urgency because they have the flexibility and they have the assets to make a move.
Yeah, they still have every one of their first-round picks.
Based off of how they handled the trade deadline last year, they wanted to play it out. Okay, we saw how it played out. You almost lost to the 8 seed in round 1. You ended up being 1 game away from the conference finals against a team that you would have felt was a pretty good matchup for you. So now it's time to really fully grasp what happened last season and upgrade on that. And in the between area of those two things, all these other teams have gotten way better.
Yeah.
So,
and meanwhile, you're struggling to bring back your center.
Which I think that's kind of the holdup in all of this, right? I would assume that they want to knock out this Jalen Duren situation before any big move is made.
Yeah.
I'm worried that might take a little bit too long, where the big move to be made can no longer be made. And if Boston tries to go get Trey Murphy now with those 2 new first-round picks they have.
It'd be really bad.
And Michael Porter Jr., I don't necessarily know what's going to go on there. But there still is plenty of time left. I think that's the most important part here. It is hard to say just be patient, do the let's be patient game, because it's tough to do that. We want stuff. We're seeing all these crazy things go down, and I'm just waiting for Pistons to be on one of them.
Mm-hmm.
We all want that so badly. It's just the rush that you get about a big-time move being made.
Philly stole Jaylen Brown.
We had that rush yesterday when John freaking Collins got signed by the Pistons.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that notification when Trey Murphy or Michael Porter Jr. has been traded to the Pistons. The feeling we're going to get then.
And either of those two guys, whereas, Toronto now has a new best player in Kawhi. The Sixers have a new best player in Jaylen Brown. Indiana, they get their best player back, right? The Celtics get Jason Tatum truly back. I know he was back last year, but he didn't play in that Game 7. His scoring was down 4 points per game in the playoffs versus what it was the year prior. They didn't have full Jason Tatum.
Should hopefully be full bore this year.
Right. Miami now has Giannis. The Pistons have Cade Cunningham. They just need the ancillary pieces around him. Trey Murphy is one of those guys to where, okay, if the Pistons can land Trey Murphy, they're not blending in the Eastern Conference like they are right now. They're not one of those teams where it's like, maybe they'll be a good rate. No. If they get Trey Murphy, they can go toe-to-toe with any single one of these other teams in my mind. Now, if LeBron goes to Cleveland or Miami, yeah, that probably puts that team in a position to where they can win. But if the Pistons let's just look at the defending champs from last year. If the Pistons can land Trey Murphy right now, I think they can go toe-to-toe with that team.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Like, we can do the whole, there's all these teams that are now in the mix for the East, right?
9 teams.
And you've named all of them, and I don't disagree on any of them. But is there a single one right now, based off of the current rosters of everyone, is there a single team that you are like, they are for sure better than the Pistons? They are no doubt beating this current version of the Pistons in a playoff series, whatever you want to say.
The Knicks.
You think so? No doubt about it?
Yeah. I mean, the way that they steamrolled through the entire Eastern Conference in the playoffs, yeah, I do.
Okay. And they made no moves this offseason.
No, they only lost Mitchell Robinson.
Right, exactly. So the teams that have been making the big-time splashy moves, you still feel like the Pistons are on par with them, right?
Do you kind of feel like Philly's past the Pistons?
Philly's a tough one because
I think they might have.
Philly's tough because at the end of the day, they still are just going to have Joel Embiid on their team in the playoffs, and he just won't be able to play.
But with or without him, that is a really tough team to slow down offensively now. With Jaylen Brown,
100%.
Tyrese Maxey, and VJ Edgecombe. Like, ugh, that's some
they have no
high-level
depth.
speed.
So like that, and a lot of these teams fit that mold, honestly. Like the Raptors, and the Raptors have decent depth. Miami has zero depth, and Philly has zero depth, but they have the star power. And so, yeah, Philly's a toss-up for me. I'm still just going to be like the Joel Embiid team in the playoffs. I know he's now maybe their third best guy, which is really weird to say that.
Could be their fourth best
Former
guy for all we
MVP.
know.
Yeah, honestly. But still, like Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers have never made it past the second round of the playoffs. I'm just going to continue to ride that out until it no longer can be. So I think I'll give you the Knicks. I think that's fair. They kind of have earned that respect. Not kind of. They just have. Outside of that, it's like,
okay, but to flip that back, there's only one team we can say is significantly better than the Pistons. How many of those teams can we say the Pistons are for sure better than?
Boston, I think. I think you can say it about Boston. I mean, we're putting Cade and Tatum on a similar tier, right? And the Pistons' rest of their roster is just substantially better than Boston's is. They have the better coach, sure.
Do they have the second best? Okay, if Cade and Tatum are the two best players in the series, and you probably have to give the edge to Tatum just because he's an NBA champion.
Why do I have to?
I guess you don't have to. Who's the second best? Who's the third best player in a series?
Probably Derek White.
Yeah.
But then outside of that, the Pistons have the next four guys. I mean, like Paul George and Mitchell Robinson, they play 20 games a year.
I know.
And
okay. You think
Celtics'
Boston's
depth
in the
is trash.
Group? Okay. You think the Pistons are substantially better than Boston? Who else?
Orlando still. Like I understand that. Yeah. Like they are better than Orlando. No doubt about it. They're better than Orlando. They are.
I mean, they weren't until Franz Wagner got hurt.
Yeah, and then they've added John Collins and Isaiah Joe and Ibuka Okori.
Okay.
The Pistons team is better. Orlando has done nothing.
That still leaves 5 other teams that we can't say with confidence that the Pistons are better than.
The Heat toss-up.
Toronto
probably
toss-up.
should lean Heat. Raptors toss-up. Is Kawhi going to play? I don't know. That's a tough one as well.
Cavs,
I mean, you just have to say the Cavs, right? They beat the Pistons. If I'm saying the Pistons are better than the Magic because we beat them, then I guess I have to lean Cavs. Even they have lost Dean Wade, but they haven't lost any of their core guys. And then Indiana is the weird one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
kind of the Pistons
I could see
rivaled
the case.
prior to them going on a little bit of a run, and then it kind of became New York. But these two teams did not like each other for quite some time.
We got a couple YouTube chats talking about this as well. Richard says, Toronto is highly health dependent. Cleveland lost a few role players. New York, no change except lost Biggs depth. Just talking about the other teams to compare the Pistons to, of course. SB says, yeah, the Pistons have fallen behind. I think Trajan Langdon is an idiot.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm not there yet.
That seems a little bit excessive.
Still think his batting average is very high. He hasn't made any bad moves. It's just we need an extra base hit now.
Yeah. Pathfinder says, Langdon doesn't believe Cade is ready to contend. I still think Detroit is going to make another move. Or no, sorry. He says 6 teams beat the Pistons in the playoffs if healthy. At least 2 will be healthy in the playoffs. They are built for the regular season.
Right now, yeah, I'd probably agree with that. They are built like a regular season team. They're going to out-hustle everybody. They're going to play great defense. They're going to play harder. Do they actually have more talent than anybody? Like, okay, let's do this. How many playoff series of all those teams would they have 2 of the 3 best players? New York? No. Cat and Brunson. Miami? No. Giannis and Bam would be the. Yeah.
I mean, we did this with the big 3 earlier, too.
Philly? Nope.
No.
The Cavs?
No.
No.
2
of the 3 best players, Mobley and Mitchell, just right off rip.
Oh, I thought you were okay. I see what you're saying. I thought you were just like doing the best 2 players versus their best 2 players.
No.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
Toronto?
No. Of course not.
No, they have Kawhi and Scotty.
Kawhi and Scotty, yeah.
And Cade would be the 3 best players.
Yeah.
And then Orlando, probably no.
Yeah, it's probably no. Franz and Paulo.
So like
but
every
they also
single
have the best guy in a lot of those though too. Right?
Sure, yeah, that's also true.
So depending on if they add another, but like Murphy wouldn't
like
be
Trey
the
Murphy.
second best guy in a lot of those either. Like if we did the same exercise with the Pistons having Trey Murphy, it's still the same answer for a lot of those. He's not better than Bam. He's not better than Giannis. He's not better than Kawhi and Scotty or Brown and Maxey. Like
so, basically, what we've learned from this conversation is the East is completely wide open. It is a crapshoot,
but it's pretty good now.
It is deep. It is nasty, but there is a lot of uncertainties to who is actually the 2, 3, 4 best teams in the East. There is a hodgepodge of 8 teams that feel like they can actually contend. And in order for the Pistons to levitate above those, they need to go get Trey Murphy or Michael Porter Jr. And that is a substantial move that would put them in a position to where I think they might be one of those 3 best teams.
It's like the East last year, except a good version. Because last year it was wide open and it was a crapshoot, like you said, but it was because we thought all the teams were bad. We thought every team was bad, and the Knicks just emerged as the lone good team, which I think every other team was bad, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas next year, it like you said, it feels like there is at least 8 teams, maybe 9, that have aspirations to go to the conference finals, go to the NBA finals.
Yeah.
Which is rare for a conference, obviously.
It's as deep as I can remember the Eastern Conference being going into a season. It's better than the West. There's 2 awesome teams in the West.
And it's not even over yet. Like you said, the second LeBron goes somewhere, it's really going to shift things. And I would assume he's going back to the East. It makes most sense for him to if he wants to contend and go to the NBA finals. Like,
is it still the easiest path, though?
I think it is because, like, unless he goes to
Golden, want to play OKC.
Golden State, I think, is dead. I mean, he still might go to Golden State. I think that whole thing is dead. The Minnesota thing is more of a pipe dream than anything. It feels like Philly, Miami, or just in Cleveland. Obviously, you have to count them in. Miami just feels like where he's going to go. It just really feels. Kawhi going back to Toronto, I can just already see LeBron going back. What if he goes to Boston? Have we thought about Boston?
You can't do that. You can't go from LA to Boston.
Rondo did it. Ray Allen, no, he never did. I'm thinking of Miami.
No. All right, 989-837-6125. Should the Tigers still trade Tarek Skubal if they stay hot at this year's deadline? It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mid. The 11 o'clock hour is brought to you by Yetter Insurance. Life happens fast, and at Yetter Insurance Group, they're here to make sure you're covered every step of the way. Locally owned and trusted in Midland for decades, they treat you like family, not just another policy number. From home and auto to business and life insurance, Yetter Insurance has the right coverage for every stage of life. Their team makes insurance simple with expert advice and real people you can actually talk to. That's Yetter Insurance Group. We'll be there when you need us since 1940.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9.
All right, Tigers, they've got maybe the best rotation in baseball at this moment in time. Listen to this. This is almost unbelievable, some of these stat lines the last 4 days. Melton, 6 1/3, 0 earned runs, 7 Ks. He only allowed 3 base runners. Skubal, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 1 hit, 0 walks, 9 Ks. Mize, a few days back, 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 1 base runner, 10 Ks. Flaherty, 5 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 2 hits, 3 walks, 9 Ks. The last 4 days, .37 ERA from the starters. .41 whip. That is unbelievable. I say unbelievable too much. I'm trying to work on just cutting that word out because it's overused.
You use it too much, and it's like you do believe it.
But that stat is truly like it's uncanny. You never hear anything like that.
The only unbelievable thing was Jaylen Brown getting traded to the 76ers. I still really don't believe it.
Yeah, that's true. If the rotation's going to keep pitching like this, it's going to allow them to at least have a chance to have a great July. This is the first time the rotation's really healthy and really informed. I mean, Kyle, we thought at the beginning of the season, I remember doing the segment, this is the best rotation in the American League. Now, we thought Justin Verlander was going to be a part of that, but instead it's Troy Melton who is a part of that. If they're going to truly be who we thought they were going to be for 30 straight days, what does that mean for the trade deadline? What does that mean if they're able to put together an awesome month of baseball and let's say they have the best record in the league in July, which is a steep task. I'm not going to lie to you. But let's say somehow by the graces of God they get to 500 or 1 game above or 1 game below, somewhere in that 3-game stretch by the time that the calendar flips to August. What does that mean?
It means the same thing it's been for the last 2 months. It doesn't matter. There's nothing they can do. Unless you win every game, I guess. But, unless you're in the divisional lead by the time we get to the trade deadline. And even then, I'm just like, it still is just not the right decision. We cannot get caught up in a month or 2 stretch of good baseball and use that as overlooking the future of this franchise. You have the opportunity. We've talked about it all year. This season has been such a mess of just, I don't even know. And I do agree that, yeah, they probably still do have the best roster on paper in the division when healthy. That's just been the issue, though. They just haven't been healthy this year. They have not been able to put it together for a long stretch of time, and it's clear that they're just having one of those seasons that it's just not their year. It's that simple. It happens to every team. In baseball, it happens a ton. It's so hard to predict baseball every year because of that. You just never know when you're going to have an off year like this. The Tigers are having theirs. And you have a chance to fix it by having a couple pretty incredibly high-valued assets that are not going to be on the team next year. And if you decide to overlook that by saying, yeah, but what if we keep them for 3 extra months and maybe we could get to the playoffs? You would truly have to play some great baseball to do that too. We can't overlook that. It's not like they're...
You have to be the best team in the league the rest of the way.
It's not like they're super close to getting in. There's so many teams that are in a better spot to get in than they are. So they would have to play miraculous baseball. That's a hope that you're making for a group and a team that has been anything but hopeful all season long. So, no, does not change my thought at all. It's been fun this week. I don't want to sit here and be the fan that's I'm rooting for them to lose so that they for sure trade him. But I'm starting to get scared. I'm not going to lie. I'm starting to get nervous that the front office is going to see what's happening here. And they are going to take that standpoint of, hey, we could do something special here. This starting rotation is good enough where maybe we could get back into this thing. And if that's the decision they make, it's the worst decision in the history of the franchise. You have to set yourself up going forward. The future of this team is so... the only good part is that we feel good about the rotation next year now with Troy Melton and Kiter Montero and then Jackson Jobe coming back, right? Outside of that, you have Kevin McGonigal and... I don't know.
Dylan Dingler.
We don't like what Scott Harris
Riley
has
Green.
built. Yeah, you have those guys, but I mean they're not like young by any means.
I think with how good the rotation has been, it's more reason to trade Tarek Skubal. You are winning baseball games that aren't just Skubal starts. Hell, since last September, you're 8-9 in games that Tarek Skubal has started. You're below 500. But when Troy Mellon's out there, it feels like you're more often than not able to pick up a win.
Yeah, even when you blow the game.
Even when you blow the game. When Casey Mize is out there right now, he led the team in wins last year. Like, that's a guy you feel pretty comfortable with when he's out there. Jack Flaherty, same thing, even though he's a guy that you could end up trading. Framber Valdez, that's been the worst guy in the rotation this year. He's still a quality pitcher. And then you have Kiter Montero, who's right now coming out of the bullpen, who post-deadline, I just have to assume, will be in a position where he can be a starter.
For sure.
I want them to trade Tarek Skubal because the rest of the pieces around him, you still feel good about having one of the better rotations in the division, in the American League, even if Tarek Skubal is not in it. Because we saw Tarek Skubal not in a rotation. And, that was when everybody was hurt. But they can win games without Tarek Skubal, I guess is my point. I think it's more reason to trade Tarek Skubal and then potentially add some offense to your team. You get rid of your star pitcher, still have great pitching. But in the process of doing that, you can add some bats and still I'm not ruling out selling at the deadline and being totally dead on the season.
Yeah, I think you could use the Skubal trade as a spark. Like if you get some guys that are in the big league ready, that you get one or two guys that are maybe going to be on the team
who can
and
help
then you have
every
a
day
prospect,
rather than just every one of every five.
In a Skubal trade, you're likely getting at least one guy that is in the bigs or about to be in the bigs.
Mm-hmm. Would probably be in the bigs in the Tigers system.
Yes, 100%. Like River Ryan, essentially, who's 27 and just rotting in AAA in the Dodgers org because he has no opportunity to play in the bigs.
Mm-hmm.
So, a situation like that, I still think, you could keep this momentum going that you have with or without Tarek Skubal. And obviously, the right decision is to get the assets back for that guy because no matter what you do, whether you keep him for a fake playoff run or not, in 6 months, he's not on your team. So do you want to get nothing or do you want to get something?
If you're looking for a steady hand when it actually comes to your financial future, meet Kevin Spencer with Edward Jones right here in our community. He takes the time to understand what matters most to you, helps build a strategy to get you there. Reach out to Kevin Spencer today at Edwards Jones because your goals deserve a plan that's personal.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The
All right, welcome back in, everybody. We've got 30 minutes left in our show today. We've got to hit the news. We've got our 3 traditions to close out every show. We'll do the news first.
The Mits Morning Catch.
Okay, let's get right back into the news, Ben. Let's take a look at the community calendar presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. I mentioned this to you earlier today. This is a fun one. We got the Movies on Main going on all summer long here in downtown Midland. Ace Hardware, big projector. You want to watch a movie outside. You're a big fan of the nighttime hotness, right? That's like your big thing.
These days where it's like 90 degrees out, once that sun kind of starts to go down and it's like past 6 p.m. and it's 90 degrees out, it's beautiful. It's perfect. It's the best walk around weather.
Well, if you want to sit around and watch a movie tonight, it's the Minecraft movie. If you have yet to see that, Chicken Jockey, Jack Black. If you want to watch that, that's where you can do it.
Never seen it.
I haven't either. You can go see it tonight if you want.
Maybe.
Okay, other World Cup matches today. We talked about Team USA's victory yesterday. They will take on Belgium on Monday night. Monday night football in America. Man, we didn't think we'd be getting that till September. Nah, we're getting it in July, first week of July. Other matches today, though. Spain, Austria at 3. Portugal, Croatia at 7, which is like a huge match. Very, highly anticipated one for both sides.
I kind of hope Ronaldo loses.
It's kind of like the consensus, I feel like, other than the Ronaldo fans, obviously. And then Switzerland, Algeria at 11 p.m.
Australia at 11 p.m.
Croatia's got that one guy that everybody has been dressing like. What's his name? Yeah, Luka Modric. He's got is that him? Maybe it's not him. I don't know. I could be wrong. I actually don't know that much about it. But Croatia's got this one dude that I just been seeing everybody they mess with him a lot, so that's cool.
I'm excited for Monday. I will say that yesterday, not that I was locked into a lot of the group play games. I had them on, but yesterday was the first time truly locked in. I am very excited for Monday now to see who they, if the United States can move on to the Elite Eight, which I know is not what it's called. It's called the quarterfinals, but in my brain, it's just the Elite Eight.
So is this the Sweet 16 in your eyes?
Yeah, they've made it. They've made it to the Sweet 16. Yes.
Okay.
The second round, I think they just call it in the World Cup.
The round of 30 or round of 16. Okay, we had a former Michigan Wolverine, Tim Hardaway Jr., sign with the Miami Heat the other day, and this is pretty funny. His father, of course, Tim Hardaway Sr., one of the more well-known Miami Heat players in franchise history, has his jersey number retired there, number 10. They asked him, hey, you going to let Tim Jr. rock number 10? He said no. He said he's not letting his son wear number 10. He said, my legacy is my legacy. He's doing it his way. Even though he likes to wear number 10, he loves to wear number 10. That is not coming down from the rafters.
It's funny, too, because it's almost like I'm just way better than my son ever was. I'm just infinitely better of an NBA career than he has. So, no, he can't wear 10.
He's, at this point, made a pretty good career for himself.
Oh, of course. He's probably been in the league for a decade now. Carved out a role. There's a role for him always in the NBA. But Tim Hardaway Sr., he's a franchise guy. I mean, he has his jersey retired. So I think it's funny.
Yeah.
I'm not freaking bringing my jersey down. Nobody's ever wearing 10 again in a Miami uniform.
Especially your own son. I just think that's hilarious.
Yeah, wear 11 or something.
Tigers Rangers tonight, 8:05. Framber Valdez on the mound. See if we can keep this. If he has a good outing tonight, when I say good, I mean a 6 or 7 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, kind of like we've had these last couple days. I don't know what we're going to do after that. If it's a full rotation swing of these guys balling, it's going to get weird. He's taking on Nathan Eovaldi tonight. Rangers been playing good baseball. They're back up above 500.
They have been playing good. They're hot right now. I think it's really weird that they play today and not tomorrow. It's one of the more bizarre scheduling things I've ever seen in baseball.
We got an update from that in the YouTube chat. It's because of FIFA World Cup game being played tomorrow on Friday. So there's a watch party apparently being had at the parking lot and maybe at the Rangers Stadium as well. And traffic.
I think it's just at Jerry World, isn't it? Is there a game in Jerry World?
Yeah, the World Cup game is there. Yeah.
So that's right across from the Rangers Stadium. So just too much going on in one spot, I guess, if they were to have a baseball game
which
simultaneously
I'm assuming
with the World
that they
Cup
probably
game.
initially had Thursday as the day off for these this wasn't a 4-game series that got cut down to 3, obviously. So they just moved the day off from Thursday to Friday.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think it makes sense too. Okay, other stuff in the news. Yankees obviously got swept by the Tigers. It's their 7th straight loss. Their longest losing streak since 2023. Yikes, the Yankees have fallen off. The Tigers have just taken care of business against the top teams in the American League East this year. Kind of weird. The Tampa Bay Rays, they swept earlier, who is on a 7-game win streak right now. They were the first team in the American League to reach 50 wins yesterday, so shout out to them, joining the Braves, Brewers, and Dodgers of the National League.
Remember when the Tigers last year were the first team to 30, first team to 40, first team to 50 wins in every way, and somehow lost the division? Remember that?
Oh, I do. I really do remember that. Did you also see yesterday, I saw someone in the YouTube chat mention this earlier, the Cubs beat the Padres yesterday 23-3.
And the White Sox put up 20 runs earlier this week. So both of the Chicago teams scored 20 runs in a singular game in a 7-day stretch.
Like it was 15-2 in the 6th inning.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Oh my goodness.
At what point do you just
how
leave?
many home runs did they hit? Guess how many homers they hit? This
23
has
runs?
got to be. This is a lot of homers.
11.
Okay, that's a little high. 8.
That's a lot of home runs.
8 home runs in a game is pretty absurd. Dansby Swanson hit 3 homers.
Oh my God.
He has been going crazy. He had that one day earlier this year where he had 11 RBI in one day in a doubleheader. Wow, Dansby Swanson has just been absolutely crushing these last couple weeks. He doesn't even have great season numbers. just he's had some crazy games so far in this stretch. Wow, that's unbelievable. Yeah, he had the game against the Mets where he had 15 RBI in a 3-game stretch against the Mets. And then yesterday has 3 homers and 8 RBI as well. So crazy stuff there. The Red Wings have been making some moves in their free agency as well. They signed forward Carter Mazur to a 2-year contract, as well as forward Victor Arvidsson to a 2-year contract. And then they made a trade yesterday, acquiring Keegan Kolesar from the Vegas Golden Knights in exchange for a 2027 7th-round pick and a 2029 3rd-round pick. You know what they haven't done yet is trade Dylan Larkin.
No.
Are they gonna trade him, or are they just gonna say no and maybe what are you gonna do? Sit?
I'm not sure. I don't think he would sit out.
He's taking.
I don't think he would do a Jaylen Brown of no, I refuse to play here. I think if they didn't trade him, he would just play for the Red Wings again. That would be my guess.
But is that even the right case?
If they're going to make other
I get
moves,
why that they don't I understand the path that Stevie Y and them are taking. They just have to do it though.
I don't think they do. If they're making all these other transactions and the Larkin stuff still exists, that kind of makes me think they're not going to trade Larkin at all. Usually you have to get that out of the way before you can make other transactions. And if they're making trades and signing free agents, I would guess they're not going to trade Dylan
because
Larkin.
That's why I was frustrated. I was like, dude, they just need to get this Larkin trade out of the way so they can just move on from it. And it's not this black cloud that is just over top of the Red Wings all offseason.
I don't think they're going to trade him.
But you're right. I mean, they are making other moves, so we'll see. Ohio State, they've added to their wide receiver Harrison pipeline.
Oh, God.
Younger brother of Marvin Harrison Jr., other son of Marvin Harrison Sr., Jet Harrison.
Jet, right.
5-star wide receiver, of course. He signs with Ohio State.
Jet.
He'll just be the next. He'll be the next Jeremiah Smith.
Is he the number 1 receiver in the class?
That I don't know, but I mean he's a 5-star receiver, so he's at least up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ohio State University, wide receiver U.
Shout out J-Mo.
Undisputed.
Brennan Sorsby, by the way, this was news yesterday, but we didn't get to it. We'll throw it in here today, and we'll end the news with this. He will not sue the NFL, and he will just instead prepare for the 2027 NFL draft over the next year.
The hell would you sue the NFL over?
For not allowing the supplemental draft to happen. I think that was a case that could have been made. This was the case that Todd McShay made, and I really did agree with. Hey, man, just shut up. Stop trying to fight this. You messed up. Why are you trying to fight everyone that is punishing you for something you did wrong? Just own it and be quiet for a full year and go to the draft next year where they will allow you to get drafted.
And my guess would be he's not going to get drafted.
Really? You don't think so?
Maybe in the 7th round.
Oh, I bet he gets drafted.
On a day 2 pick?
For sure. This guy was a projected first-round pick next year.
He's taking a whole year off? I don't know. What do you do for a whole year? You're not enrolled in college.
You're just training. But you're right. I don't know what you're like. How much different is it than if he was on Texas Tech rather than just not playing in games? Like the practice is probably still. Yeah, but you're not playing.
You're not playing games. That's the most important part. Putting out the tape.
Yeah, but none of these NFL teams even care about the tape anymore.
Yes, they do. Come on. You need the experience.
They care about it until the season's over. Then they're all of a sudden like, wait, but this guy's arm is pretty like.
No, I think with the quarterbacks they do
short.
I think with the quarterbacks the tape is what matters more than anything.
I agree. I still think Sorsby gets drafted though, but you're right. I don't know, what do you do for a full year?
You're not in school. You don't have a job. You're just training to go to the NFL, but you're not allowed to play games. That would get pretty redundant after a month.
You're going to train, but like at what point? Like you better have a right path processed out throughout this. You can't just do the same thing every day.
You're now talking about 9 straight months of just training to go to the NFL. I'd say after month 2, you probably get pretty bored of doing the same thing every single.
Well, the good news is he's got $5 or $6 million for free from Texas Tech to help pay for all of this training.
Still allowed to get that?
Oh yeah, I mean that he already got it. I think
you can play it for them.
They said that they're not going to take away their deal for it. I mean, they really can't. Like, it's messed up. They got screwed over. Who's their QB going to be too? Like that on top of it. Texas Tech football, man.
There's like one guy happy through this, and it's whoever the backup quarterback was. And you don't have to be a pro to get pro-level health care or just pro-level care in general. Whether you're hitting the gym or the field or staying active, Covenant Healthcare Sports Medicine helps you prevent injuries, recover quicker, and keep doing what you love. With Covenant Healthcare, you can do it all.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9. Built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
We have 3 traditions to close out every single show. I've got a fun fact for you as well. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, and this is the lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Despite getting thrown out of the game for a red card, Bulligan still finds a way to score a goal. He got thrown out of the game, and he had a goal that didn't count, and he still found a way to score a goal to help us hit our lock of the day for the first day of June. That's how you really knew it was a lock.
It's a good point. Yeah, you're up. It was plus 105, so you're up 1.05 units to kick off July after just going down in the month of June. 12.24 units down all time, and you're 1.2 units up this week as well, with it being 2-1. So you're in a good spot as far as this week goes. Can you keep it going today?
We'll find out. Today, I'm going to the Tigers game. I'm going with the Nerfy. This Texas Stadium is a place where Framber Valdez is very used to pitching, with his time being in Houston. Evaldi on the mound for the Rangers. Hasn't had his greatest year ever. Still a solid pitcher in this league nonetheless. So I'm going with the Nerfy to try to stack 2 wins on top of each other. It's minus 130. I have no problem with it. Just stack the wins. That's the goal this month. Stack wins on top of each other. Taylor Fitz.
We haven't gotten a Tigers lineup yet today, right? Way too early. Just wanted to double check. I assume we haven't.
I mean, it's an 8 p.m. game.
Right. That's why I say I assume we haven't. I'm going to fade this. I think the Tigers score in the first inning. I think they keep this mojo going here. Texas Stadium, you hit the gaps pretty easily here. Yeah. I think the Tigers score in the first inning. I'm fading.
Okay. There you go. That is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
I saw a crazy stat for you. Just a random one. Tobias Harris right now, if he retired,
it's going to be the money thing,
would be the 4th highest paid player in NFL history for career earnings. Matthew Stafford 1, Aaron Rodgers 2, Tom Brady 3, Tobias Harris $3 million short of Tom Brady. Tobias Harris has made if he was an NFL player, the fourth most money in history. NBA money's different, man. It really is. It's just a different type of money. We were talking about this a couple of days ago.
It's crazy.
These like non-great centers. It's just like Robert Williams. Here's $44 million for you to go be like the 16th best center in the NBA. And meanwhile, we have secondary guys in the NFL, like guys who play in the secondary. Rock Ya-Sin, for example. Hey, Rock Ya-Sin, thank you for your service last year. We want to bring you back for $1.2 million. And if you get hurt, we can just
see you later.
See you later.
Not
man.
even guaranteed.
Yeah, we'll guarantee half of it.
Like, I even saw
NBA money's different.
I even saw the other day. It was someone basically just like crapping on Shams, and it was when LeBron signed with the Lakers. So this was in 2019 or 2018. This would have been. His deal was 4 for $154. LeBron coming off of like going to the finals 8 straight years.
I mean, if the Pistons signed Duran for $150, it'd be a miracle.
4 for $154. Walker Kessler just got 4 for $130. Like. Walker Kessler.
The Pistons got Jaylen Duran for 4 for $150. That'd be like a steal.
Yeah, I mean that's just under $40 million a year for LeBron James. Think about right now, like that. It's just unbelievable to think about.
The Wemby contract's going to be insane.
All of the guys' contracts going to be insane.
Well, I assume Wemby will be the highest paid player in league history when he gets
whoever's eligible for the max that year. That's the best, like a great player.
Or Wemby will be like, nah, I don't really care. You can sign me to like a minimum. I don't care. As long as we can win.
Yeah, there's no way he would do that.
I don't think he would, but if there was a player.
He's like an agent and everything, yeah.
Yeah.
I also did see quickly, one of the guys that played college basketball last year that was in the NBA, James Nagy, dude that was drafted 31st overall in 2023 by the Pistons, never played in the NBA, just a G League guy. Went to Baylor last year. He is going to be back in college basketball. He's transferring to George Mason.
Oh, nice.
So that whole saga continues.
NBA players getting drafted, going back to college. No, that makes sense.
And then transferring to a new school in college. Yeah.
That makes sense. All right. Our next tradition. Our game of the day.
Game of the day.
It's got to be a knockout game. I got to go with Portugal and Croatia. 7 p.m. It's the primetime Thursday night Fox game at 7 o'clock. We got Cristiano Ronaldo in action. Is he going to be eliminated in the first round of knockout play? Potentially. We've got Portugal as minus 150 favorites. And Croatia.
But like everybody's rooting for Croatia, I think.
Why is that, though?
I don't know.
Everyone's just out on Ronaldo, it sounds like.
I also am just saying, I could be totally wrong. Maybe everyone still loves Ronaldo. It feels like everybody's out on him, though.
Yeah.
I got a pop quiz question for you because I learned this the other day, and it kind of shocked me. Who is older, Ronaldo or Messi?
Messi's like 43, isn't he? I'll go with Messi.
Ronaldo is older.
Oh, really?
That always shocked me.
Ronaldo looks like he's 23.
Ronaldo's 41, and Messi is 39.
Oh.
Just turned 39. I always just assume that Messi was older, but I don't pay attention, so.
He's still the best player, right? I think he's still the best player. He had a hat trick.
Is Mbappe better though? I'm legit just asking.
I think his team is better.
Yeah.
I'll go with Portugal and Croatia as our game of the day.
Game of the day.
I got 2 words for you. Steve Nash and Chris Paul. Must-see TV.
Michigan fans, they have nothing to worry about.
Hey, I forgot to put that in the news, by the way. That's the reason I clicked that. Chris reminding us in the YouTube chat. JP Estrella, Michigan incoming transfer from Tennessee, announces he will be staying with the Wolverines as well. So it seems like they're going to get everybody back. Now it's just on to the incoming freshman.
Brandon McCoy, right?
That's McCoy, the guy McCoy being the main one. Quinn Costello. But yeah, getting Estrella and Cham yesterday, and of course,
it's kind of too late to go anywhere else. Everybody else has their roster.
I would probably think so. I would probably think so too.
All right.
Yep.
What do we think Colin Cowherd's going to open up his show with? That is our final tradition. Fox Sports Radio, The Herd takes over at noon. I don't believe I get to go first today, and I believe you got a point yesterday.
You're right and wrong there. I did get a point yesterday with the LA Lakers being my pick, but it was my turn to go first yesterday. So it's your turn to go today. 62-62, we're tied, and I think this is a much trickier pick than expected. I think there's two big ones. Two big ones. There's no other options. but there is two.
I'll go with the United States team.
I would have chose that as well. They literally played. He's been talking about them when they don't even play. So, and the red card, I think the red card decision is going to be talked about, like probably as the main talking point.
I'll go with that.
But I'm fine with a second option getting Jaylen Brown trade. I think that is like it's one of the more it's the most unexpected trade I think in the NBA since the Luka trade.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's not as big of a trade as like Giannis getting moved, but we knew that was going to happen. Jaylen Brown to Philly.
Trading to your arch rival.
Yeah, like that
doesn't happen for 80 cents on the dollar.
I will absolutely take that as a second pick for guessing Collins Open, because that's a lead most days of the year.
I bet we get that in both. I bet we get both topics in the first segment.
Yeah, but he'll obviously like go heavy on one of them.
I think it's going to be the United States.
I would probably lean that as well.
You're up 1 on me right now in the total score?
62-62.
Oh, tied. Okay. All right, that's going to do it for us today. We will be back tomorrow for a little 3rd of July special. We're going to have some fun, lighthearted show. I'm excited about it. We've already got a couple of fun things planned out.
In or out on fireworks.
Got a lot of goofy stuff planned out for tomorrow's show. It should be a good time, so hopefully you guys can come hang during that. All right, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mid or The Ben Bosscher Show. You'll get it. Subscribe on YouTube so you get notified when we go live at 9 a.m. like we will tomorrow. See you guys.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
At Yiter Insurance Group, we know your home and vehicle are more than just policies. They're part of your everyday life. That's why our personal lines team takes the time to help you find the right home and auto coverage for your needs and your budget. Whether you're buying a new car, settling into a new home, or simply reviewing your current coverage, we're here to make insurance easy and personalized. Contact Yiter Insurance Group today, your friend in the insurance business.
Step up to the plate, Midland. Ever thought about giving back but didn't know where to start?
At the Midland Area Community Foundation, it's easier than you think. With over 700 funds, you can support what matters most to you, from youth sports and scholarships to local nonprofits and community projects.
That's right, and you don't even need to hit a home run donation to make an impact. Every gift helps Midland move forward.
Anyone can be a philanthropist. We'll help you find the right fit.
Ready to get in the game?